Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is a story about what if Naruto builds a village in waves. Before I start, please support for more amazing content, and do consider subscribing to my channel and share this video with your friends. This is written by whaleshark and link in description and support writer. Let's start the video. Many villagers and ninja were waiting around the main gate of Konoha. Tsunade was there, as was Sakura, Shino, Ino, Ten, Guy, Kakashi, Kurenai, Asuma, and some of the council. The original Ino Shikocho team was there, as well as Iraka and the Ichiraka man. They were all waiting for the rescue team to return and bring them their Uchiha back. "There they are!" shouted a guard. Everyone turned their attention to the path outside the gate. A couple figures came into view, but you could not tell who it was yet. "I hope it's Sasuke," Sakura thought to herself. When the figures arrived, it was Gaara and his siblings. Gaara had sand floating behind him, carrying Kiba and Akamaru on one, Chugi on another, Lee fully enclosed in one, and Niji was on the last. Shikamaru was draped over Tamari's shoulder. "Who is in the worst shape?" Tsunade said in a voice that let everyone know she was Hokage and she was in charge. Gaara replied in a flat voice. "They all are suffering chakra depletion. Niji has a large wound in his left shoulder and multiples others. Chugi has severe chakra depletion. And Kiba has many wounds. He is in the best shape of them, but they all need treatment." Guy stepped forward. "What about Lee? How bad are his wounds?" "Lee is fine, he was just drunk." "What? Who gave him alcohol?" Tsunade smashed him over the head, effectively shutting him up. Shikamaru lifted his head. Chugi took all 3 pills. The Ino Shikocho team all dashed forward. They knew what that meant and the dangers with it. "Quick, give him this," as Shikaka pulled a pill from his pouch. The pill was given to Chugi and he swallowed with the help of Inoichi, relaxing his throat muscles. "He will be fine now, he just needs some rest, besides he's already up," Shikaka said with a smile as Chugi opened his eyes to see his father and his team. Tsunade and the others began working on the rest of them. Shikamaru had been set on the ground and Temari was helping him sit. Kankuro had sat on the other side of Gaara as he was still standing with his arms crossed. "But where is Sasuke? You guys were supposed to get him. What happened to him?" Sakura screamed. The villagers also began to murmur about their Uchiha. The older ninja were more concerned about Naruto though. "Well, what happened? You guys failed, didn't you?" Sakura was now furious. Sand quickly surrounded Sakura, and before anyone could react, Sakura was covered to her head with sand. "If you do not silence yourself, I will do it for you," Gaara replied. "Besides, Naruto went after him," Kankuro said while fixing one of his puppets. "Yeah, right, like Naruto could beat Sasuke," Sakura said. Kakashi just slapped his forehead. And the other sighed. Sakura was about to continue when she felt the sand around her tighten where it began to hurt. "I was not kidding. Whether we be allies or not, I owe Naruto more than this whole village," Gaara replied, still looking towards the path. 1 hour later. Niji was now stabilized with help from Tsunade and Shizen. Lee was on Guy's shoulders smiling. Chugi was next to Shikamaru talking, and Kiba was being tended to by Hinata, and Shino was talking with him. The rest of the ninja were still waiting, and the villagers were confident about their Uchiha returning. "I see something coming," shouted the guard again. This time it was Naruto with Sasuke knocked out and in terrible shape over his shoulder with tightly bound ropes. Naruto was just as bruised and injured. "I knew he could do it. He is after all the most surprising ninja of Konoha," whispered some jounin. The villagers were disgusted. Naruto dropped Sasuke on the ground. "Here you are, Sakura-chan, just like I promised." Naruto was too tired to even scratch the back of his head, so he just stood there with his arms at his side. Naruto quickly have some ramen as Tsuchi gave him a large bowl that was still hot. Naruto began to eat the bowl. "What, Naruto, look what you did to him. He's almost dead. You could have killed him. What were you thinking?" Sakura was screaming. She suddenly knocked the bowl out of his hands and punched him straight in the face. Naruto fell to the ground and put his hand to his face. "Why did you do this to him?" Sakura-chan, Naruto tried to say but was cut off. "You probably used that red chakra to beat him. There is no way you are strong enough," as she kicked him. All of the ninja were pissed now and waiting to see what happened. The villagers were loving it. Ino approached Sakura. "Sakura, what are you doing? He just brought Sasuke back after he was captured, and this is how you treat him," Ino yelled. Ino had lost her love for Sasuke and had began to admire Naruto as well as some of the other ninja. "What are you talking about, Ino? I'll bet he didn't do anything and the rest of them did all the work," Sakura said as she moved to kick Naruto again. Sand exploded from all around and covered Sakura, lifting her off the ground, as Gaara walked between Naruto and her. "If you make another move on Uzumaki, I will kill you, allies or not." Sakura let a laugh escape. "You are just mad because Sasuke beat you, just like in the Chunin exams. For your information, this Uchiha was completely useless in his attempt to stop me." Gaara paused and a smirk grew on his face. Naruto could probably take on this whole village if he had to. You're lying. You just don't want to admit defeat to Sasuke, the villagers began to yell towards Gaara. Gaara once again had his bored look on his face as he continued. You think I lie? Well then let me tell you about it. The ninja were now intently listening. He first was able to place an exploding tag where my armor was thinnest, where the Uchiha could not even touch me. Uzumaki created over 2,000 shadow clones that beat me to a pulp before I transformed. When I did transform, he summoned some frog named Gamabunta that matched me in power. The ninja were now amazed and held respect for Naruto, seeing as only 2 people have been able to summon the boss frog. Jiraiya of the legendary Sannin and the Yondaime. There is more. When I used 100% of my power, Uzumaki called on even more strength and transformed not only himself but also Gamabunta into a 9-tailed fox when they could not take hold of me. The villagers were now scared, and some of the older ninja at the mention of the Kyuubi. He then beat me with a headbutt to the forehead. Gaara replied as he dropped Sakura to the ground and looked over at Naruto. The villagers still thought he was lying, so they needed to expose him somehow. The villagers began to yell at Naruto, calling him demon and wishing death upon him, but were quickly silenced by Tsunade and the ANBU. Naruto still had his hand to his face where Sakura punched him. The rest of the Rookie 9 and Guy's team were now in front of Naruto except for Sasuke and Sakura. It was eerily silent. Naruto stood. His face was now full of anger and fury, but it turned to a smile. Then I am leaving. The villagers cheered and the ninja were confused. I can't believe that I go out and capture the Uchiha who left of his own free will and even put a Chidori through my chest. He glanced at Kakashi, and then bring him back and then get screamed at for doing it, Naruto said with sarcasm. Everyone was confused. He left of his own free will to Orochimaru because he thought the leaf was weak. Naruto laughed. Well, I guess I showed him. Well, like I said, I am leaving this village, and Bachan, if you send who? I want Brat, but you better come visit. Naruto smiled. Well, I am off to start my own village. Everyone was shocked except for Tsunade. Anyone want to come? I will, screamed Twichi as he hurriedly rushed with Iam to behind Naruto. I would lose business if you left, and besides, who want to live in a place where they hate someone for just living? As Twichi glared at the villagers. Although I am going to need some help getting all my pots and utensils. I got it covered, and Naruto created 30 shadow clones to go get all the stuff from Ichiraku. I will go as well, traditions or not, Neji said as he joined Naruto. We are coming, Gaara said flatly as he and his siblings joined Naruto. Are we gonna be allies with Leaf? Shikamaru asked. With the ninja, yes, villagers maybe, Naruto replied smirking. I'm in then. Me too. If they go, I'm coming, Ino said as she glanced at Naruto. Chugi, Ino, and Shikamaru moved too. He'll need a lot of help doing what he wants, replied Shikamaru with a lazy tone. And of course we'll visit, said Chugi in response to the look their parents were giving him. You dare betray the Konoha? You are all Genin and Chunin, said a council member stepping forward. They are going whether you like it or not, and if anyone wants to stop them they have to go through me, Tsunade said facing the crowd. Tenten, Kiba, Shino and Hinata moved as well. We will be in touch, father, was all Shino said as he moved. Ji-sensei, I wish to go along with my friends but do not wish to leave you. What should I do? Lee, you go. Be with your friends, Guy screamed. I will come back, Sensei, Lee said as he and Guy began their ritual. Tsunade walked forward. Brat, you better not get killed, Shikamaru, take care of him. Troublesome. I'll be fine, Bachan. Naruto stepped forward and gave her a huge hug. I'll see you again, tell the pervy sage too. They all began walking away from the village as soon as the clones returned carrying all of the ramen equipment and supplies. Naruto was in the lead with Shikamaru at his side, and Chugi and Neji were being carried on stretchers by some clones. Everyone else was in a group behind them just walking along. Ino had moved towards the front and got as close to Naruto as she could before making it obvious. So, Naruto, where do you plan on going? Or are we starting a village from scratch? Shikamaru asked. Naruto put on one of his biggest smiles. Have you ever been to the land of waves? Chapter 2, Travel. Everyone was walking the path towards Wave Country. Naruto was in the lead and Shikamaru and Shino were at his sides. Naruto had created 4 clones and they were carrying Neji and Chugi, and 30 clones carrying the Ichiraku supplies and equipment. Chugi was awake now and conversing with Twichi and Iam about foods and recipes. Tenten, Temari and Ino were talking about who knows what, and Hinata was tending to a now awake Neji. Kiba and Akamaru were jumping through the trees playing tag, followed by an energetic Lee. Gaara and Kankuro were bringing up the rear. Naruto was happy inside because for once he was thinking about his own village, a new village, one free of prejudice and hate towards people. He silently vowed that he would make it a joyful place for all its inhabitants. Naruto couldn't believe that all of his friends were coming along with him, the dead last. Naruto knew that he had proven himself, but was still overjoyed about it all. Naruto was wearing a fox smile and looked to Shikamaru. So Shikamaru, how come you decided to come? Everyone stopped their own conversations and looked towards the front. Shikamaru felt everyone's eyes on him and sighed troublesome. Well, the village council has been getting ahead of itself because of Tsunade being the new Hokage. They feel that she is not doing a good job and is going to try and get her out of power and elect Danzo as the new Hokage. But that's only part of the village council, right? Ino asked. Of course, the clan heads of the Hyuga, Akimichi, Abuame, Nara, Yamanaka, and Inuzuka all disagree. They know of Tsunade's skill as a warrior and feel that she is the most qualified for the position. Besides, if Danzo was chosen, he would be a weak Hokage, especially with only one arm. Shikamaru continued. True, he has been trying to gain power ever since the Sandaime Shino interjected. And how do you know that, Shino? Tenten asked. My father keeps me informed about the council and village matters. He says what happens if they die, who then will take on responsibility for the village. Wow, Shino, that's the most I've ever heard you say in a week, Naruto said, chuckling. Everyone else joined in and Shino smiled, although no one could see it. Everyone was bitten by a bug that caused them to immediately stop laughing and get rid of the bug. As they were trying, the bugs flew back to Shino and he kept walking. Nice move, Shino, Naruto said, still laughing. Troublesome, I was hoping you would forget. Tsunade kind of gave it to me as a mission to take care of Naruto. Shikamaru said as he jumped behind Ino. The old hag did what? Naruto yelled and charged Shikamaru but stopped when he saw that he was behind Ino. Ino looked him in the eyes and blushed as she quickly looked away and turned Naruto around. Let's keep going, I would like to get there today. I have never been to the land of waves, Ino said, pushing Naruto forward. Okay, we are going. Naruto started walking again. I did it to get free of the Hyuga clan rules that separate the houses. I will create a new Hyuga that are not divided, and I'm sure Hinata would help. Besides, Tsunade removed the seal when I was being healed from the last battle, meaning no one had power over me, Neji called from his stretcher. I came for the new ideas, and besides, my father kind of suggested it. He said I could grow stronger, and that if this village were to blossom it would need help. You are the strongest fighter among us, Naruto, but probably the worst in organizing and handling things. Shino said, still smiling from the bug bites. Hee, I guess you got me there, Naruto said, smiling while scratching his head. You idiot, Ino said as she bonked him over the head. Naruto laughed more and jogged ahead to escape Ino. I wasn't done with you yet, Ino screamed as she took off after him. Naruto saw this and took off sprinting. We'll go, Naruto, Kiba called, and Hinata smacked him in the back of the head. 5 minutes and Ino will be dragging Naruto back, Tenten said, laughing. 10 minutes, Naruto is kind of fast, you know, Neji called. Want to bet on it? Tenten said. Sure, Tenten, Neji said, smiling. Fine, but you are lucky you are still injured, Tenten said, struggling to contain herself from smacking Neji. So what does the winner get? Neji asked. Being a slave for the winner for 2 hours, Tenten said, smirking. You're on. Less than 30 seconds, Tsuchi said, smiling evilly. No way, Naruto is not that slow, Chugi said. Everyone was now watching the bet. You're on, Neji and Tenten chorused. I never said that, Tsuchi said as he moved to the front of the group and cupped his hands over his mouth. FFRRERRAMME, his deep voice bellowed. Everyone looked ahead and saw a large cloud of dust kick up, and then everyone was amazed to see Naruto standing there with Ino in his arms bridal style and her arms around her neck. Where's the ramen? He said as if in a frenzy. Everyone was either smirking at the predicament that they were in or mouths gaping from Naruto's speed, and Kiba was about to say something but was interrupted. WO, score 1 for the old man, Tsuchi sang as he danced around the group, and Iam chuckled as the rest were staring with wide eyes as they had never seen anyone move that fast. Seems I know Naruto, no don't I, Tsuchi said, rubbing it in. I can't believe that we are his slaves, Tenten whined, and Neji just smacked his forehead. What was I, some kind of bet? Naruto said, still holding Ino. Yep, and you lost it for me, Naruto, Neji said. Oops, sorry, Neji, Naruto said. Let's keep moving, Shino said as he started in the lead. Everyone walked by and Naruto turned to follow until he realized he was still carrying Ino. Oh, sorry, Ino, want me to put you down? Naruto asked. Ino thought about it. I am actually kind of tired, would you mind carrying me? Ino left out that she was waiting for a day at the gate for them to return from their mission, thus she was exhausted. No problem, but would you rather be on my back? Naruto said, trying to be a gentleman. No, I am fine here, she said, and laid her head against his chest and closed her eyes, drifting off to sleep. When Naruto caught up to the rest of them, Ino was asleep and everyone turned to look at them, and the boys smirked while the girls awed over it, and Kiba and Kankuro both made catcalls which earned them another smack from Hinata and Temari. Shikamaru still wanted to get the reasons for the rest of them leaving, broke the silence. Well, what about you, Lee? Lee looked down to the ground, saddened. You guys are my only real friends besides Gai-sensei and some of the jounin, and if you left I would be all alone. Everyone was saddened at what Lee had said until Naruto broke the silence. Don't worry, Lee, I've got the same reason, you all are my best friends, Naruto said, which cheered everyone up. Toichi smiled, for even though he was a ramen chef, he had great observation skills. For you can't live in a village full of ninja and not pick up some skills. And he was witnessing one of Naruto's many outstanding talents. Okay, Tsugi, what about you? Toichi said, changing the conversation. I couldn't leave Ino and Shikamaru, they are like family to me. And after that mission when we risked our lives for Sasuke and then bring him back and then get looked down upon for doing so, besides a new village would be cool. Everyone recalled the events from the village, and how the rescuers were shunned. Okay, Tenten, what about you? Naruto called. She looked at Niji quickly and then back forward. There has to be some women in this village to keep the men in line. She was glad she made this up because she really didn't have a reason except for wanting to be with Niji. Everyone shared a laugh at the joke she had made. Kiba? Well, new territory, and like Tsugi said, we got belittled for doing a mission to retrieve the damn Uchiha. Plus here at this village I would be one of the strongest. Akamaru yipped in agreement. While we are going through the list now, Niji pointed out. Hinata, what about you? Niji asked. Well, I don't like the Hyuga laws, and I am trying to prove a point that Hyuga do not need just the Hyuga style and Byakugan to be good ninja. Also, I would like to create a new style free from the other Hyuga, Hinata managed without stuttering. What about you three, Gaara, Kankuro and Temari? Naruto said, forgetting that they were there as they had been quiet most of the trip. Temari was looking at Shikamaru when Naruto started talking and was caught looking away. I agree with Tenten, someone has to keep you all in line, especially Kankuro. Kankuro just looked at everyone. Well, I had nothing else to do, so why not? This made everyone laugh. He was just doing this because he was bored. I'll bet Gaara made you come, Naruto said, trying to contain his laughter. Yep, Gaara said, which caused everyone to laugh and Kankuro to go after Gaara but was caught up in a ball of sand. You know this is not fair at all, Gaara never gets hit or any of that, Kankuro whined. That's because he doesn't cause trouble like you, Temari pointed out, smacking him again. Besides, I can actually get to Gaara without his sand protecting him. Temari moved towards Gaara and he quickly made hand seals to encase himself in a ball of sand under his control. Well, except when he does that. After everyone had finished any other explanations of why they left, and there was silence for a minute, Shino started a new subject. Okay, so Naruto, how are we doing this? Well, my first real mission was here to Wave Country to protect Tazuna, an expert bridge builder, and I met a nice family that took care of us while we were here. They used to be a poor country, but now I think they are a lot better since the bridge was finished. And I think that their village will be the perfect spot for our new ninja village. It has lots of woods, a large river and some small mountains, plus the ocean. Also, we will be able to disguise ourselves as ordinary people if the need ever arrive, seeing as there is no evidence that it will be a ninja village. Will keep us safe for the first part. Wow, Naruto, that actually made sense for once, Kiba said. That was actually a very good reason and had lots of advantages. And this man Tazuna, he will help with the new buildings, I guess? Shikamaru asked. Wow, you really are a genius, Shikamaru, Naruto said, smiling. Well, anyway, I was thinking that for the first couple months or so we focus on getting the area secured, designed out and built. I mean, we all can't stay at Tazuna's house, we will have to build our own. And we need food and probably need to divert the river closer to the village. That would be great for water, and there was lots of fish in Wave Country, Naruto replied in a semi-serious tone. Well, you have it all thought out for once, not just charging into something, fists raised, Niji said, smirking. Okay, so that's what we got to do first, I guess then, Tenten said, clapping her hands. Wait a sec, we will need a cool headband symbol, Kiba said, waving his hands. Only you, Kiba, would think of that. Only you, Shino muttered. Everyone stopped and thought about it after a laugh. I guess a simple design of a few waves would work, easily distinguishable and easy to carve, Shino said. Well, there we go, that's settled, Tsugi said. Naruto thought it was time to show that he was truly capable of being a leader and that he is in charge of this project. Okay, well, I think that Tsugi and old man Ichiraku should be in charge of food. Hinata, Kiba, Kankuro and Shino in charge of scouting the area and securing a boundary. Tenten, Temari, Ino, and I should be in charge of housing and design, seeing as they would complain the most. And me, Gaara and Lee will divert the river and get wood. Niji, whenever he gets better, will do whatever needs help. Okay, sounds good, Naruto, but that stuff will take a long time, Tenten pointed out. Not for Naruto Uzumaki, Naruto exclaimed. And how are you planning that? Temari asked. Naruto smiled and said, ever heard of shadow clones? Shikamaru, Shino and Niji all understood, and Shino began to explain. Naruto has massive stamina and chakra. He can create over 2,000 shadow clones that would last all day, and all he would need would be some food and rest, and he could do it again the next day. This gives us 2,000 manpower each day, so we will be done quickly. Shino finished. Also, as he said, we are in charge, so basically we are leading an army of Narutos, Niji's smile grew even bigger, and to think that every time he does this his chakra will increase. Exactly, Naruto will definitely be the leader. His chakra right now is double all of the rest of us put together. By the time we are done I am guessing that he will have so much chakra that very few in this land will compare to him. Man Naruto, you are going to be unbeatable, Kiba said. Naruto smiled and kept walking. He looked down to see Ino still sleeping peacefully in his arms. He enjoyed the feeling, he felt happy. Ino stirred and snuggled closer to him. Shikamaru saw this and leaned close. Looks like you got something for her, eh? Naruto blushed and leaned back to Shikamaru. I could say the same for you and Temari. This caused Shikamaru to look away and Naruto jumped behind everyone else. Naruto smiled knowing that Shikamaru had a thing for Temari, as well as Kiba and Hinata, obviously Niji and Tenten, and he was thinking about Shino and Ayam. Nice Gaki, it's about time you got a vixen. Naruto heard Kyubi yell in his mind. Naruto sighed and closed his eyes and then found himself in front of Kyubi. What do you want, Fox? What, I can have a conversation with my jailer, Kyubi said, smiling with his massive jaws. Well, you actually got a point there. But still, what do you want? Well, as you know, I can see what happens out there, and the idea of you starting a ninja village is weird but can work, especially with the bloodlines and abilities you have with you. Anyways, I was wondering when you were going to tell them about me and all. You should not keep secrets from them. I guess you are right, I will have to tell them somehow. What way do you think is the easiest? Kyubi smiled and Naruto ducked to avoid being hit in the head by something. What was that for? Naruto screamed. To test your reflexes. No, you idiot, it was a summoning scroll, now go get it. Naruto quickly went and gathered the scroll and brought it back to in front of Kyubi. So what do I do, same as the toads? Yes, just think of foxes or toads, whichever you want to summon at the time. So Naruto signed his name in blood as well as his hand on the scroll and wrapped it up and slid it back to Kyubi. Cool, foxes and toads now, alright man, this village is going to be unstoppable. Naruto, I also have something else for you. This seal is converting my chakra into yours, which will make you have almost limitless chakra. You will need to work on chakra control a lot more, okay? And after it absorbs my chakra I will go back to the demon realm, but you will still be able to summon me. Hey, you aren't going to go all destructive on me or anything, right? Of course, here, let's make a blood seal on it, this way you can prove it to any of you elders that want to know. Kyubi wrote it out on paper and signed it by slicing his paw and signing in blood. He slid the scroll to Naruto, and he did the same. After they were done, Naruto put the scroll in his pocket. Alright, I will miss all the annoying conversations we had though when you leave. Sure you will, but you still have 2 more years to deal with me. Alright then, Kyubi, I am going to tell them. Naruto turned to leave but turned back around. Wait a sec, can you turn into a smaller fox? Because you walking around all massive like that won't help and will give us away. Of course I can do that, you don't think I am a demon lord for nothing. Now get out. Naruto came back into the real world laughing and everyone was looking at him. What is so funny? Kiba asked. Nothing, just a joke I remembered, but I have something very important to tell all of you. Naruto woke Ino up and set her down next to him. Well, you all remember the stories of how the Yondaime defeated the Kyubi in battle and killed it but also lost his life doing so. Everyone nodded but were confused as to what he was talking about. Well, Kyubi was a demon lord and cannot be killed. So Yondaime did the next best thing, he sealed it. Niji now realized what he was saying as he had seen the red chakra in the Chunin exams. And he had to seal it into a newborn baby seeing as their chakra coils are still developing and could contain the demon lord. So I was chosen as I was born on the same day Kyubi attacked the village. Naruto finished as he lifted his shirt and channeled chakra to his stomach to show them the seal. Whoa, so that's where your power comes from? Kankuro asked. Gaara interjected, no, the power of the demon is easily identified, the power that Naruto has is from hard work. Kyubi's power is only when you see the red chakra. Well, how do you know that? Tenten asked. Gaara smiled, I also have a demon lord sealed inside me. Everyone was now confused and wondered how this happened. But you are just his jailer, not him, right? Hinata nervously asked. Of course, we are 2 separate beings. Let me show you, Naruto said, smirking as he jumped back from the group. Summoning jutsu, a huge cloud of smoke erupted and everyone shielded their ears when they heard Kyubi talk. Whoa, about time I got out, this feels good. Kyubi said, stretching, oh yeah, my name is Kyubi, the 9-tailed fox, and strongest of all demon lords. Naruto noted from atop his head that he was twice the size of Gamabunta. Hey Kyubi, do you think I should tell Gamabunta? Yeah, you should want to do it now. Only if you don't attack him, even if he attacks you. Fine. Everyone was amazed to see Naruto talking to the demon lord and did not know he was going to summon Gamabunta. Naruto jumped off of Kyubi's head and was falling to the ground. Naruto, what are you doing, you idiot? As Ino started to run, hoping she would catch him before he hit the ground. Ino was stopped by sand at her ankles and around her waist. Just watch, and Gaara set her down next to him. Summoning jutsu. And a cloud of smoke erupted again, this time half the size of Kyuubi. Jiraiya, is that you? Or is it the idiot? Hey Gamabunta, it's me, Naruto. I want you to meet an old friend, but you can't attack. Gamabunta finally saw Kyuubi through the smoke. What? How did he get out? The seal the yondaime made was unbreakable. Gamabunta said, worried as he pulled his dagger. I let him out, Naruto said. What? Why did you do that? He will kill us all now. Through a summoning jutsu, Naruto finished, and the ground started to shake. Everyone looked over to see Kyuubi laughing and rolling around on the ground. Ah man, you should have seen your face, Bunta. Ah ha 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 ha, you were terrified. Not good, Naruto thought. Damn brat, scaring me and stuff. Alright brat, I am out of here, see you later, Gamabunta said as he disappeared, leaving Naruto to plummet to the ground. Damn it! He did it again. I got you, brat, Kyuubi said as one of his tails caught him and set him back down next to his friends. Thanks, Kyuubi. Now will you get down before someone sees you and alerts Konoha? Fine, fine, he finished as he erupted in another cloud of smoke, and when it cleared, a small two-tailed fox was sitting on Naruto's shoulder. Well everyone, my name is Kyuubi, so please stop gawking at me. Ah, so cute, the girls yelled as they took Kyuubi and began hugging him and petting him. Naruto, help me, I am going to die. Naruto meanwhile was on the floor laughing, holding his sides. Some demon lord, huh? Ah ha 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 ha. All the guys started to walk again except for Naruto, who went to get Kyuubi. Okay, that's enough, I don't think he likes it. Besides, the rest of them kept walking, Naruto said as he moved to the center and bent down, allowing Kyuubi to jump back on his shoulder. The girls hemped and ran to catch up to the rest except for Ino. Kyuubi whispered to Naruto, is this the one you like, cause she doesn't seem that smart. Naruto blushed and started running again as Ino chased Kyuubi, who had dug his claws into Naruto's jacket, forcing Naruto to run. The rest of the group was walking again and saw Naruto run by with a laughing Kyuubi followed by an angry Ino. Anyone want to make a bet? Toechi said evilly. No, I am, said as she bonked him over the head. After Naruto had returned, this time being dragged by Ino, and Kyuubi, still laughing, came jumping down from the tree line, apparently avoiding harm from Ino. The group was still a day's walk from Waves, so they decided to camp here for the night. Alright, I'll get some dinner and would be back in 15 minutes. Naruto said before he made his favorite seal. Mass shadow clone. 100 shadow clones poofed into existence, and everyone only had a second to look before they dashed off into the forest, their tasks already in mind. So that's what you meant by a lot, Kiba said as he and Akamaru began to push the twigs and leaves away for a suitable sleeping area. No, he could do that probably 20 more times and still not even tire. He has amazing stamina, that is probably more than Lee's, Shikamaru said as he laid down next to a tree and looked up at the sky. Temari sat to his left, and Kankuro was next to Temari. Crap, no one brought tents, did they? Tenten called as she imagined sleeping on the forest floor with nothing but the clothes she has on. Man, good point, Tenten. No one has anything. We kind of forgot all that at Konoha, Ino pointed out, feeling bad because they were ninja and were supposed to remember this kind of stuff. He made another seal and the sand formed into a large 2-story house with open windows and doorways. A chimney sprouted from the top and the whole structure was pushed up by 2 inches of sand from the bottom to keep it safe from water. Gaara walked inside and said lazily, it is going to rain and I do not like getting wet, and there is room for 20 people, and we have less than that, so anyone is welcome to join me. What, Gaara? How come you never did this on any missions and I had to sleep in the trees? Kankuro protested. Because it never rained, Gaara called flatly. Good point, Kankuro said, immediately ending his rant. The storm overhead was thundering very loudly and the lightning was illuminating the entire area. All the Naruto clones that went to get wood and food returned, the food clones with some berries and rabbit and even some wild vegetables. Kiba skinned and cleaned the rabbits and Gaara made a fire for them. Everyone noticed that Gaara was sitting close to the fire and avoiding any rain possible that fell through the windows. Naruto and Kyuubi still hadn't returned. Ino was sitting near the doorway waiting. Kiba was about to say something, but this time Shino stopped him before he could. Toechi had started to make rabbit stew. Gaara, if you really don't like the rain that much, why don't you make a covering or something to keep the rain out? You know, like a diagonal or something, Kankuro asked in confusion. Gaara looked at the windows and then smacked himself in the forehead. I can't believe I am listening to an idea, Kankuro suggested, but a good idea it is. Sand came up from the floor and covered the windows, stopping the wind and rain from entering but still allowing airflow. Where do you think Naruto is? Ino said in a sad voice. He probably got lost, but don't worry, Kyuubi is with him. He'll keep him safe, Shikamaru pointed out. Here, Ino, come get something to eat, Chugi called. I'll wait for Naruto to get back, she called, not moving from the doorway. Everyone had eaten now and had found a room to sleep in and gone to bed. Except for Gaara, who was poking the fire, and Ino, who was still waiting at the door. Hey Gaara, Ino asked, her voice still full of sadness. Gaara continued to poke the fire but answered, yes. Did Naruto really do what you said he did back at the village? Has he become that strong? Yes, I have no reason to lie. Okay, Ino was thinking even more of Naruto now, and how far he had come. Gaara, can I ask you another question? You just did, but yes, you may ask another. Well, how come you don't sleep? Gaara sighed and stopped poking the fire. As you know, I have a demon lord sealed inside of me. The one-tailed Shikaku, demon of the sand to be precise. He is the weakest of the demons, but still could take on any village. My demon is in a rage as a result of being sealed with a crazy priest. If I go to sleep, Shikaku takes control and goes on a rampage, thus I cannot sleep, and besides the chakra from Shikaku replenishes me enough to keep me awake constantly. He started to poke the fire once he finished. So can someone fix the seal? So far I have found no one that is able to, but I am always looking. Well, what about Kyubi? He seems strong enough and I am sure he could help, Ino suggested. I will certainly ask him when he and Naruto return. Okay Gaara, could you do me one last favor? Ino crept over to Gaara and whispered something in his ear. I guess I could. I hope that Naruto doesn't get mad though, Gaara said as a room of sand on the top floor collapsed in on itself. Thanks a lot, Gaara, Ino said as she gave him a hug. You are welcome, but Naruto will definitely be mad when he reads speak of the devil. Here they are now. Gaara walked to the door and Ino shot up and ran to the door. Naruto's jacket was off and his pants were torn a little bit. He was dragging a huge net full of fish. There was enough fish to feed them all for a week. Naruto, what did you do? Ino yelled as she jumped onto Naruto, giving him a bone-crushing hug. Ino noticed Naruto's muscles and liked the feeling when he returned the hug. Well, Kyubi taught me a very old technique used to catch fish. It involves blocking the river with large stones that block a way for the fish to get by but allow enough for the water to continue through. You put your net over the rocks and wait. The fish naturally try to get over it and jump onto the rocks, which usually makes them injure themselves and thus keeps them there. You then pull your net in and remove the rocks. Well, what took you so long? A few missing nin stopped by and tried to take the fish and I had to beat them around a bit in order to get them to leave. Naruto, where was Kyubi? Shouldn't a demon lord have been enough to stop them? Has some demon lord he is, he's scared of rain, but here he comes now. Naruto's jacket was moving slowly along the ground until it reached the house and Kyubi jumped out of it and right into the middle of the fire. Ah, that's much better, nice and warm. Feel better now, Wimpy Fox, couldn't even help with the net. Naruto grumbled. Naruto and Ino both had their stew and talked with Gaara over ordinary things. Well, go to bed, I will watch the fish, Gaara said as hand of sand from his gourd came and dragged the net closer to the house. Sand then came and created a room around the fish, sealing it off completely except for a doorway from the house. Hey Gaara, which room is empty? Naruto asked, smiling. None. With me, Ino said as she grabbed his hand and dragged him to her room. For all of you with impure thoughts, they didn't do anything, just shared a bed. Gaara sighed as he walked back to the fire and saw Kyubi laying down in it. Kyubi. Yeah? My seal is not working correctly and is not allowing me to sleep properly. I feel it is from the crazed priest that is sealed within me as well. Is there anything I could do? Kyubi stretched and stood up. Where is your seal? Gaara lifted his shirt off and showed him the seal on his shoulder. Kyubi jumped onto his head and looked down at it. Yeah, the priest being sealed as well definitely did something wrong, but is easy to fix. This might sting a bit. Kyubi did a long set of hand seals and finished quickly. Try elemental seal as Kyubi thrust his paw onto the seal. Gaara winced in pain as a symbol of a fire, earth and water all appeared around his old seal in a triangle. There you go, the crazed priest is subdued and locked away, and he is definitely not getting out. Shikaku may still be in a rage, so try to go to sleep, and if anything happens I will stop him, okay? Okay, and Gaara laid down and started to drift to sleep. Kyubi jumped down and stood right in front of Gaara as he went to sleep. Kyubi closed his eyes and concentrated. Suddenly Gaara shook violently. He then sprang up and opened his eyes, yet they weren't Gaara's eyes, they were the eyes of Shikaku. Gaara sprung upright and sand began to swirl around him as he laughed diabolically. Time me to kill, Woa, Shikaku screamed. Kyubi opened his eyes and spoke in a commanding voice. Shikaku, incarnate of sand and guardian of the desert, I order to you to calm down and release your control over this boy. And why should I listen to you, little fox? Because I am Kyubi, the nine-tailed fox, and I am ordering you to stop. You lie, Kyubi was much, much bigger, and you have nowhere near as much chakra as Lord Kyubi. Kyubi's chakra blazed from his small body, causing Shikaku to tremble in fear as everybody knew Kyubi's chakra. You doubt me, Shikaku? No, Lord Kyubi, I just haven't been sane lately from that priest and I was so used to taking control and killing. I am sorry, please forgive me, Shikaku begged. Only if you never harm this boy again and help him train in his control of the sand. Yes, Lord Kyubi, I will. Thank you, merciful Lord. Return to your cell, I need to speak with the boy again. Yes, my lord, and Shikaku released his hold over Gaara, causing him to wake. Why do I have such a headache? Gaara complained as he held his head. That is because I just chat with Shikaku and he will no longer bother you at all. In fact, he is now going to help you with training and better control over the sand. Really? That would be great, thank you very much, Kyubi, Gaara said as he bowed his head. No problem at all, just open up a bit more to people, they are your friends, you know. Okay, then go to sleep. Oh, and if you want to talk with Shikaku, then just think of being inside your head and speaking with a giant badger. Okay, Kyubi left the room and Gaara made a bed of sand that was comfortable for him and went to sleep. Man, what a terrible seal, he is lucky that Shikaku had not escaped completely, must have been his will that kept Shikaku at bay. Kyubi spoke to no one as he looked at the sky. Ah, damn brat didn't give me enough chakra to last a night. Oh well, I'll tell him next time, Kyubi finished as he poofed into smoke. Next morning, Naruto was the first one to wake and walked into the living room to see Gaara sleeping. Naruto thought nothing of it and went to get some fish for breakfast. Naruto walked into the fish room when Temari entered the room and stumbled upon a sleeping Gaara. Temari screamed out, causing Naruto to sprint back into the room. What is wrong, Temari? Naruto said while drawing a kunai from the floor. Gaara is sleeping. Yeah, and Naruto said dumbfounded as he lowered the kunai. You idiot, when he sleeps Shikaku takes control of him and goes on a rampage. Well, it doesn't look like that happened now, does it? Shikamaru said before muttering something about troublesome women. What are you doing up, you lazy bum? Temari demanded. Well, you damn screaming woke everybody in the house up. Kiba complained as he entered the room followed by everyone else. I'll get some more fish, Naruto mumbled as he created some shadow clones to help him. Toechi made some fish cakes and everyone ate them, and Naruto made some more clones to wash and clean the pans. Gaara still had not woken up. Everyone by now had exited the house and was ready to go, but nobody dared wake Gaara up for fear of his wrath. Well, what are we going to do? He might not wake up for a while and stuff, and who knows if he can find us? Naruto answered. Well, how is it that he went to sleep in the first place? Shino stated. Oh yeah, I told him to ask Kyubi about Shikaku and all, maybe he knows. Ino, Temari and Kiba were all frustrated now. You knew that this whole time and never thought to mention it. Temari screamed and Naruto was scared for his life, but luckily Temari was being held back by Hinata and Tenten. "'Kay, well, let's get the fox out here," Naruto said as if nothing had happened at all. Summoning jutsu. And a small puff of smoke erupted from his hand, but when it cleared it was not Kyubi, but Gamakichi. "Hey bro!" "Oh crap, wrong one," Naruto said, scratching his head. Naruto Temari was furious now. "Alright, I'll see you later, bro." And Gamakichi disappeared. "I'll get it right this time." Naruto stepped back and did the jutsu again. This time Kyubi emerged stretching and yawning. "Hey kids, what's up?" "What did you do to Gaara?" Temari screamed. "Oh him, I put him to sleep." "How, did you hurt him at all?" "No, I simply fixed his seal and calmed Shikaku." "You mean you actually talked to Shikaku? Is that even possible?" Kankuro asked. "Of course it is, you idiot. Naruto talks to me all the time and I am talking to all of you, so don't you think it would be possible for him to do the same, let alone me?" Kyubi snapped. "Okay, sorry," Kankuro replied as he took shelter behind Toechi. "Anyway, Gaara is fine, just resting from no sleep in a long time. Just carry him with you, I'm sure Naruto wouldn't mind." "No problem." So Naruto created 100 clones, 30 to help with the Ichiraku supplies and 10 to carry Chugi, Niji and the sleeping Gaara. The rest got the fish. "So how much longer is it to Wave Country, Naruto?" Tenten asked, tired from the long trip. "Actually, I am not entirely sure how much farther it is, but I am sure this is the way," Naruto hastily said, not wanting to feel Tenten's wrath. "Why doesn't Niji or Hinata check with their Byakugan?" Shino suggested. Everyone had noticed that Shino was talking more. "I'll check. Niji is still injured," Hinata said as she made the seal used to use the Byakugan. Hinata saw trees and continued to look left. She came across a huge bridge that was in between the tree lines. It was straight ahead, just too far to see by the normal eye. "The bridge is just ahead, about 1 mile," Hinata stated. "Okay, then only about 4 miles to go," then Naruto said, taking the lead again, closely followed by Ino and the rest. "Wait, Naruto, if Hinata said the bridge is 1 mile ahead, how come you said 4? Kiba asked, thinking Naruto's math was wrong. "Well, it's about a mile to the bridge, but the bridge itself is 2 miles long, and then a mile to Tazuna's village." "Wow, that is a large bridge, probably peaceful, perfect place to watch the clouds," Shikamaru said in a joyful tone. The group continued until they got to the bridge. The bridge was very wide across, maybe 100 feet. On the left side of the bridge was a giant marble statue of Team 7 and gold-plated plaque. Naruto, look, it is you along with Team 7, Lee said, stating the obvious. Thanks, Lee, Naruto said. Kiba approached the plaque and saw the name. What, the Great Naruto Bridge? How did you get a bridge named after you? Kiba said, jealous because he doesn't have anything named after him, especially a huge bridge. Everyone looked at Naruto, who just smiled and scratched the back of his head. It was our first C-class mission that turned a class, and we had to fight off Zabuza Momochi, Demon of the Mist, and one of his companions. Kakashi almost died and me and Sasuke had to free him. We then killed them on this bridge later on. Wait, Zabuza as in Zabuza, one of the 7 swordsmen of the mist? Tenten asked. Yeah, the one and only. Did you get to see his sword, one of the heavenly swords? Tenten asked with stars in her eyes as she bombarded Naruto with questions about the sword. Tenten, we buried Zabuza and Haku on the other side of the bridge. His sword should still be there, Naruto said, causing Tenten to stop her many questions. Okay, then let's go, Tenten demanded, and all the guys instantly began moving, not wanting to attract Tenten's or any of the girls' wrath. It took them about 2 minutes to cross the bridge because of all the stuff Naruto was carrying. When they arrived, Tenten was looking at the graves of Zabuza and Haku and admiring Zabuza's sword. Wow, Naruto, do you think I could touch it? You would actually have to ask Tazuna, Naruto said. Halt, who goes there, said a villager who emerged from the forest with about 20 others. They were only armed with spears and swords, although the swordsmen looked as if they held some reasonable skill from the way they carried themselves and their swords. Yeah, we are here to see Tazuna, Tenten said as she backed up towards the rest of the group. Why are you here and how do you know Tazuna? Another villager said. Our friend was here before and helped with the bridge and stuff, Shikamaru said, stepping forward trying to avoid a battle. Shino pushed Naruto forward. Oh, I see, it is Naruto, said the lead villager, as they all lowered their weapons. Well, are we allowed to see Tazuna? Naruto asked. Yes, right this way, and they villagers led the way to the village. If I may ask, how was it that you knew we had crossed the bridge? You apparently do not look like ninja, and if you were, that would be a huge task even for a powerful ninja. Shikamaru asked, wishing to know their trick. Simple, there is a seal on the bridge that lets us know when someone is on the bridge. Well then, do you come here armed every time someone crosses? Shino said, adjusting his glasses. No, the trick is the seal only alerts us if the bridge is being crossed by a number of people. The way we tell is the villagers are taught to cross in a single file, which the seal notices and stays inactive. When more than one person cross spread out, the seal alerts us, and we arm ourselves. The lead villager said proudly. If I may ask, that would be a very intricate seal. May I ask who did it? It was one of Naruto's friends, Jiraiya of the Sannin. He stopped by once, and he did it for us as a favor, saying that Naruto would return it someday. A villager stated. Damn it, pervy sage, Naruto grumbled. Here we are. The village was a lot bigger than last time. There was a simple wooden wall that didn't look like it would hold out anything more than bandits and animals. There were many more houses, but they were all 3 floors or less. There was a large building that stood out in the middle, on it was the symbol for waves. The land around the wall was full of farmland and woods. The village looked very prosperous. When they entered, the whole village was there to meet them. Tazuna was in the front with Inari and Tsunami at his sides. Naruto, how are you? It's been a while, hasn't it? Tazuna's deep voice bellowed over the crowd. Tazuna, how are you? It is great to see you and your friends, but may I ask why you are carrying equipment and injured comrades? Tazuna said. Well, we got fed up with our village and left. The damn council and villagers still hate me. Of course you can stay here. We all owe you a huge debt for helping us. Okay, well, we were sort of hoping to do more than just move here, Naruto asked, laughing. And what is that? We wanted to start a new hidden village, the village hidden among the waves. Well, that is up to the whole village, not just me, Tazuna said as he turned to his villagers. The villagers talked about it for a minute and they finally reached an answer of yes and told Tazuna. Well, then it's settled. Besides, that would make us known and increase our economy more, although I am hoping you all have the manpower to do that. I hope you have thought it out, Naruto, Tazuna said, smiling. Well, not really, but that is what Shikamaru and Shino are for. I am just a manpower and fighter, Naruto said, smiling. Nara, have not seen one of them in a while, Tazuna said as he inspected Shikamaru and then on to the rest. Wow, Naruto, you really have a powerful group here. I mean, you have 2 Hyugas, an Abraham, a Kimichi, Inuzuka, and I'm not sure if Blondie is a Yamanaka, but they have the same color hair, Tazuna said as he inspected all of them. How do you know all of this, Tazuna? Shino stated. I am a master bride builder, which means I had to be great at small details, and I traveled a lot, so I know the distinct clans. Wow, nice, you are smarter than you look, Kiba said. Haha, I am. Last time I was drunk, Tazuna said. After everyone had met and talked with the villagers and moved into town, Naruto asked Tazuna a serious question. Okay then, when do we start? Tomorrow. You can start on the food and security, and Shino and Shikamaru can help me design the walls and more important buildings. Don't worry about money, we are very rich now, maybe more than some of the hidden villages. Damn, Wave Country was perfect, Naruto screamed out, and everyone smiled at Naruto as he jumped forward, everyone following. Chapter 3, Plan. Everybody was gathered outside the village center, and Tazuna was up on stage with Naruto and Shikamaru. The rest of the rookies were below in the first row. All of the Wave villagers were gathered and standing waiting to hear Tazuna's speech. Naruto was smiling very happy, looking at all of the people. Tazuna took a deep breath before starting. Welcome, all of the citizens of Wave. Applause. Yesterday we were greeted by an old friend from before we were finished out magnificent bridge. And he has brought some of his friends. They are ninja from the village hidden in the leaves. Applause. They are here because there was an incident in their village in which they felt they were mistreated from a mission in which they completed but ridiculed for doing it from the villagers. They have decided to break off all ties with their old village and are now here asking asylum. Applause. Not only though do they wish to stay, but they wish to help us create a new village, one that is on par with the other 5 ninja villages. By now the whole crowd was being roused and their cheering increased as Tazuna grew near the end of his rant. I wish to create with all of you a better place for us all, the village hidden in the waves. Tazuna finished with a smile from ear to ear. The crowd took a whole 5 minutes to calm down and stop their cheering. When they finished, Tazuna turned towards Naruto while still at the microphone. I give to you the hero of Wave, Naruto Uzumaki, Tazuna said as he stepped back, leaving the stage to Naruto. This time everyone jumped and cheered louder than when Tazuna was speaking. Hello everyone, how are you? Naruto said before taking a deep breath and starting again. Well, like Tazuna said, we were hoping to start a hidden village here. But we may need your help on questions and other things, like location of housing and teaching us the area and anything special. Also, you won't have to do any construction, but if there is anyone with any building experience, or any skills that we are going to be doing, just let one of us know, and we will see what you can help with, okay? Naruto finished grinning and scratching his head. The crowd cheered and Naruto smiled more. I have one more thing. I would like you to meet one of my friends. He has agreed to be the guardian of Wave as well. Trust me, when you meet him you will fear nothing. Also, do not worry, I have complete control over him. The crowd was confused and the old Konoha ninja were smiling, for they knew what was coming. Naruto jumped up into the air and bit his thumb. Summoning jutsu. The all too familiar huge cloud of smoke erupted from Naruto's hand. Kyuubi stepped down and quickly maneuvered his paws so he didn't crush any of the village. He let out a huge roar and looked down at the crowd. The crowd was speechless, and then a young child began speaking. Looky mommy, Big Foxy, and she waddled over to Kyuubi's jaw and began to pet his nose. So soft, mommy? Kyuubi then poofed back to his small two-tailed form in a cloud of smoke. The little girl then gave Kyuubi a huge hug. This caused all the other girls to join in petting him. Naruto, help me. I don't think I am going to make it this time. Good speech, Naruto. Thanks. Tazuna stepped back to the microphone. We will start construction and any changes tomorrow, so prepare for better times ahead. The crowd cheered one last time and began to disperse. The young ninja gathered on the stage to talk again with Tazuna. So Brat, you ready to start? Tazuna said. Of course I am. I'm always ready, Naruto said, raising his hand into the air. Alright then, Shikamaru, Niji and Shino, you guys are with me. We have to get something planned to keep Naruto busy tomorrow. I don't think Ino can handle him, Tazuna said as he began to walk towards his house. Yeah, we definitely can't have him getting bored and messing everything up, Shikamaru said. I'm not that bad, Naruto pouted. Don't worry, I'll watch him, Ino said as she dragged Naruto towards the edge of town, followed closely by Kyuubi, who had escaped from the mass of girls. Kiba raised his head and hand ready to say something but never finished from the look Hinata gave him. So what now? Temari asked. Well, I say while the two smart guys are planning, we go check out the beach, Tenten suggested. Sure, who's in? Kiba said, jumping in excitement with Akamaru. Everyone raised their hands except for Gaara, who said something about making the house again first. Oh no, you don't, you are coming with us this time, Gaara, Temari said as she quickly grabbed him by the collar. You can make sandcastles and you won't have to get wet. After Temari said this, Gaara's eyes quickly lit up and he picked everybody up with a mass of sand. Shopping, the girls screamed out and the guys cringed. They all knew that they needed some clothes for their stay, so they went. Does anyone have any money though? Chugi asked. Everyone stopped and looked down. Guess it will have to wait, Chugi replied. Not to worry, Gaara has plenty of money he keeps within his gourd, Temari said, giving Gaara an evil smile. Fine, but you can't take me with you shopping. All the guys were jealous because Gaara had found a way out. Stop and get me at the sand house, before you go, Gaara said as he backed away. No, just meet us at the beach, Tamari called back. Fine. Sneaky lucky bastard, Kiba grumbled. Well, we gotta go then, Shugi said as he drew a bag of chips from his clothing. Woo, let's go, Tenten screamed as they each drug a guy behind them. Edge of forest. Ino and Naruto were walking through the forest. Ino decided to make a move and grabbed his hand. Naruto looked to Ino and she just smiled and moved closer, which caused them to walk at a slower pace. So Naruto, do you really think we can be on par with the other 5 major villages? Ino asked. Of course, especially since we will have new students to teach. We will skip most of the boring history stuff, just teach them about the major villages and then right to chakra and ninja skills. That would give us ninja quicker and make them more powerful at a younger age. Exactly. So Naruto, what do you think of you? Hey kids, hope you aren't doing anything naughty, Kyuubi said as he jumped onto Naruto's other shoulder. Kyuubi, Ino growled out, but thankfully for Kyuubi, Naruto gave her hand a squeeze, which calmed her down. Ha 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 ha, that was funny. Well, anyway, I am going to give you each a gift. I am going to teach you 2 as well as 1 other in an elemental style. Fire, earth, water, the 3 main elements. Yes, I know about lightning and wind, but they are minor elements just like grass and wood and so on. So who's getting what? Naruto asked. Well, brat, you are getting fire, dangerous and unpredictable. Girlfriend over there is water, graceful but deadly, and the 3rd person is Lee, Naruto answered. How did you know? He has the best speed, stamina and body of us except when I use your power, Naruto pointed out. Yeah, imagine Lee with more strength and power, Ino said. Whoa, that's scary. Exactly, and I also suggest that you create a ranking system that will be unique to this village, making it known across the ninja world, such as the 7 swordsmen of the mist. So what do you have in mind? Naruto asked. Actually, nothing. Oh, great idea, there, Kyuubi. Well, what about colors? Something simple, Ino said. Naruto and Kyuubi looked to Ino. Simple, just like ninja ranks except colors instead, like red for Kage, blue for Jounin, and so on. Well, that could work. Naruto as red, all of the old leaf ninja that came with you as blue, and then so on down the list. Also, you could have black for recon and assignation, and white for support and elemental or something. Nice idea. Naruto smiled and leaned on Ino, who was resting her head on Naruto's shoulder. So when do we start? Naruto asked, his voice eager. Well, first I am going to demonstrate, Kyuubi said as he jumped down, and a smoke cloud engulfed him. When it cleared, there stood an older-looking man who stood about 6 feet 4 inches. He had a long red beard and long hair that stretched to his lower back. He was wearing black robes that had a sash that was the color of his hair. He was standing up straight for an old man, and had a cane, but it didn't look like he was leaning on it. His eyes were red with black slits, and he had pointed teeth. Whoa, you look better as a fox, Naruto said, snickering. I'll have you know I look really good for 10,000 years, Kyuubi replied happily. Wow, you are really old, Ino stated. Shut up. Naruto and Ino couldn't hold it in anymore and started laughing. After 5 minutes they finished, and Kyuubi decided it was his turn to have some fun. Okay, now that you 2 lovebirds are done. This caused Ino and Naruto to blush. I will demonstrate the styles. Kyuubi got into a simple position with his right arm forward and his left bent slightly. His feet were spread equally from each other. He closed his eyes and stayed like this for a few seconds. Fire champion, Kyuubi said as he opened his eyes. His hands and feet were immediately engulfed in a burning flame. He demonstrated by striking a tree with a weak punch. The punch created a hole through the tree and the entire tree went up in flames. This style is extremely powerful and can only be countered by water or earth. The balance between the elements keeps one from becoming too powerful if anyone ever becomes corrupt. Thus they are always given in pairs of 3. By the way, no one has been given these powers in over 3,000 years. You guys are lucky, you are also the youngest to get these powers. Kyuubi then struck a tree with the water element activated, and a waterfall sprang forth from the air and a perfectly round hole was through the tree. For earth, he punched another tree. The entire tree shook and then shattered into billions of tiny splinters. Wow, they are that powerful? Naruto asked, starting to drool a little. Yep, and the best part is there is no learning. What then? Why doesn't everybody use it? Because you must be given the seal of the respectful elemental. So that's how it's done. You are granted a seal which grants you control of the element, and then you just have to master it. Naruto figured out. Right, so do you want them now? Of course. Well, there is one problem though, Kyuubi said as his voice lowered with each word. What? We can't get it yet. There is an order. Do you have to be a certain age? No, nothing like that. It's just the seal has to be placed over your heart. So go ahead, Naruto yelled, taking off his shirt. Well, you're not the problem. Oh, I see now. Well, that is a problem, Naruto said, scratching his head. I don't care, but so help me God, if you do anything more than the method for placing the seal, you will die. Immortal or not, Ino growled out in a voice so vile that it made Kyubi flinch for a second. I promise I will not do anything more than what is required, Ino, Kyubi said as he raised his right hand. Well, let's get started. Okay, Ino first, and I suggest you hold Naruto's hand. Naruto grabbed Ino's right hand with his and stood by her side. Here goes. Kyubi once again closed his eyes and concentrated. Sacred elemental gift, water. Kyubi's right hand grew a bright blue. A flowing ball of water gathered around his palm. The area around them became mistier and the ground beneath their feet became wet with water that flowed around their feet. Kyubi thrust his hand to Ino's heart. All of the moving water stopped and returned to the flowing ball around Kyubi's hand. A seal bearing all 5 elements appeared, with water in the middle and the 4 others surrounding the water symbol. Ino was screaming out in pain, and she squeezed Naruto's hand harder. After a minute, the water around Kyubi's hand dispersed, and the area returned to normal. Ino fell backwards but was caught by Naruto. Kyubi fell down onto his butt. Man, I forgot how much that takes out of me. I think I can give you yours, Naruto, but Lee's will have to wait for a couple hours. That's fine, let's keep it a surprise, Naruto grinned as he laid Ino down and walked back over to Kyubi, who stood back up. Just so you know, I did Ino's first because hers is the least painful of the 3. You got the most painful. Hey. Gee, thanks. Okay, here we go again. Naruto closed his eyes and braced himself. Sacred elemental gift, fire. This time Kyubi's right hand grew a vibrant red that sun turned into a burning flame that engulfed his hand. The temperature rose a couple degrees, and the earth beneath their feet cracked and steam and molten rock spewed forth. Kyubi once again thrust his hand to Naruto's heart. Screams from Naruto were heard over the spewing earth and hissing steam. He screamed out in pain as the seal appeared on his chest. It seemed to be burnt on rather than through chakra. Again a seal with the 5 elements appeared with fire in the center, and the others circled around. When Kyubi retracted his hand, he put his hands on his knees and was panting. Naruto was lying back on the ground out of breath, and Ino was still unconscious. Well, have fun, brat. Don't summon me for an hour unless it is important. I need to rest too, you know. And once Kyubi finished, he returned to his cell inside Naruto through a cloud of smoke. Naruto crawled over to Ino and laid his head on her stomach and went to sleep. With the others. Thank God, Kiba said as he walked out of the store, arms full of bags. Akamaru, we're done. It wasn't that bad, we were only 4 hours, Temari stated as if that wasn't a long time. Sheesh, you guys complain too much, Tenten remarked. How is it that Naruto escaped this? I mean, his clones could have done all the work, and… Kiba was stopped from talking by Tsugi, who put his hand over Kiba's mouth. Don't tell them that, idiot, Kankuro said. Yeah, his clones hench us free, get the picture? Tsugi said as he released Kiba. Oh, I see now, Kiba said, chuckling. Well, what are we waiting for? Let's go to the beach, Temari said, jumping. Fine, let's go, Hinata said as she grabbed her bag with her swimsuit in it and ran ahead. Hey, what about Naruto? I will get them. We will meet you at the beach, Lee exclaimed as he sprinted off, kicking up dust. Meet you there, Lee, Kiba called. With Naruto and Ino. Ino awoke with a weight on her chest. She looked down to see a ball of yellow. Naruto, you wimp, Ino managed, laughing lightly. She gently shook Naruto and he awoke with a big yawn. He looked up to see Ino smiling at him. Naruto smiled back and then realized where his head was and began to get up, but was stopped by Ino's hand, who moved him from her stomach to her lap as she sat up. Well, I guess we are a lot stronger now, Naruto, Ino said, running her hands through his hair. Yeah, I guess we should try it out, Naruto said again, trying to stand up, but Ino stopped him. No, that stuff can wait, let's just sit here, Ino pleaded. Sounds good, besides we should wait for Lee anyway, Naruto replied. I'm glad you thought of that, because you wouldn't be moving anyway, Ino stated matter-of-factly. They stayed like this for a couple minutes with Ino running her hand through Naruto's hair. Hey Naruto. Yeah? You know, I am kind of glad that you left to start this village. Why is that? Because it gives us more opportunities, and I get to spend time with you, she said, smiling down at him. Me too. Hey Ino. Yeah. How come you are spending time with me and stuff? Naruto asked, dumbfounded. Ino blushed and bonked him on the head. Because you idiot, I love you. What? Naruto asked, confused as he had never been in this situation before. Ino having known this from seeing Naruto grow up when they were younger, so she did the only thing that she could think of. She leaned down and kissed him. When she broke the kiss, Naruto looked back and then smiled. You idiot, Ino said, then kissed him again. Eventually Ino wound up on top of Naruto, kissing him as Naruto had his hands on her back. It was as this time that Lee found them. Naruto, I know we are all going to the beach and I am sorry for interrupting. Ino rolled off of Naruto and stood up quickly, followed by Naruto. Sorry about that, Lee, kinda forgot about everyone else, Naruto chuckled. That is fine, Naruto, But anyway, the rest of us except for Shikamaru and Shino are going to the beach outside of town. I was sent to find you and tell you about it. Now that I have finished I must go. Lee turned to leave but was stopped by a shout from Naruto. Wait Lee, we got something to tell you. Well, Kyuubi is giving us the power of the elements, I got water, Naruto got fire, and you are getting earth. And besides, you don't have to learn anything, it's just mastery of you control of the element, and ability to use it to your advantage. Naruto said. Yeah, Kyuubi gave us some kind of special seal that gives us it, so we are going to get Kyuubi to give you your seal and then the three of us are going to be training to master it. Ino said. This is wonderful, thank you, this will help so much, Lee yelled out. Naruto put his hand on Lee's shoulder. Lee, this will probably make us the three strongest in this village, you are going to be my right-hand man, so be ready, and if you could not as much yelling? He pleaded. Thank you, Lee exclaimed again. Okay, let me get Kyuubi summoning jutsu. A poof of smoke and there stood the human-looking Kyuubi. Ah, Lee, are you ready? Yes, Kyuubi. Okay, take off your shirt. Lee complied and stood there with his eyes closed. Kyuubi closed his eyes and waited. Sacred elemental gift, Earth. Kyuubi's hand became encased in a layer of rock. The ground beneath them broke into millions of pieces and swirled under their feet. Lee was not screaming, just grunting and clenching his fists. The seal appeared above his heart, and Kyuubi retracted his hand. Lee put his hands on his knees. Wow, I can already feel the earth beneath my feet, almost as if it is talking to me. Lee exclaimed. Ha, well, looks like you three are already started. Now give me some time to rest, brat, Kyuubi said and disappeared after he finished. Okay, well, let's get to the beach, boys, Ino yelled, grabbing both of their hands and dragging them along. At the beach. The group had just arrived and the girls went to change. The boys were waiting for the girls so they could go in the water. Hey guys, Kiba barked out. Yeah, what now, Chugi whined. I got a volleyball set, Kiba said, grinning as he pulled it out from one of the numerous bags. When did you get that? Kankuro asked. When I said I was going to the bathroom, I snuck into the sporting store and snagged one as well as a couple of frisbees. Kiba boasted out as he began to open the volleyball set. Nice one, now let's get this up before they get back and want to go do something stupid, Shugi encouraged, setting down his chips and helping with the net. In 5 minutes the girls had returned to see the boys bumping the volleyball around to themselves and the net to the side of them. Where did you get that? Tenten replied happily as she knew that she would win at volleyball. Not telling, and I know we can't play yet because we need Naruto to at least give us a chance, so let's go in the water first, Kiba said back as he set the volleyball down and sprinted to the water with Akamaru. Wait, where is Gaara? He said he was coming, Temari demanded. Well, let's see, maybe the big-ass castle made of sand over there isn't a hint, Kankuro mocked. They all looked over to see Gaara sitting atop a 4-story high castle made of sand with a courtyard on the top where Gaara was making smaller sandcastles. Hey Gaara, want to come in the water? Temari screamed to him. Gaara just looked up and then down as sand formed into an O and then dissipated. Come on everybody, Temari said as she grabbed Hinata and Tenten and dragged them to the water. With the water is great, Kiba said as he was swimming away from Akamaru. They all made it into the water and were splashing each other, and were messing around. Hey Kiba, come here, Kankuro called. Kiba swam over to him and Kankuro whispered something in his ear. Okay, let's do it, Kankuro said as he and Kiba slipped under the water unnoticed. The girls were all ganging up on Chugi, who was fighting back as best he could, but was still losing until Kankuro and Kiba made their presence known. Temari and Tenten both went down under the water courtesy of the two boys. Kankuro and Kiba both surfaced and grabbed Hinata by her arms and legs. They tossed her up high in the air and she let out an eep, but in her descent she straightened right into a perfect dive and slipped down under the water without making any waves at all. Kankuro, maybe this was a bad idea, Kiba whispered as they eyed the three girls who had surfaced looking at them with daggers. Kiba and Kankuro began to back away and Chugi had escaped to the beach. God, please help us, Kiba pleaded. You both are going to get it now, Temari growled out as she, Hinata, and Tenten advanced on them. We are going to die, Kankuro whined. Yes you are, Temari never finished as something hit the water and a huge splash was left in its place that stopped the girls from attacking and saved the boys. Thank you God, Kiba called to the sky. Everyone looked at the spot of the splash and waited. Eventually Naruto popped back up smiling. That was awesome, I am doing it again, Naruto exclaimed as he hurriedly swam back to the shore. What are you talking about, Naruto asked, but was again interrupted by another splash, though not as large as the other one. Hi girls, Ino said as she surfaced. What happened to you, and why are you being thrown through the air? Oh that, well look to the shore, Ino said as she started to swim around. When they looked to the shore they saw about 30 clones standing there with a large sheet, and Lee was lying in the middle of it. 123 and the clones threw Lee through the air, who only went about 20 feet and never made it to the water. Lee turned to the clones who were all panting. Lee, maybe you should take off your weights, we can't throw you with them on, You weigh too much, the real Naruto said. Okay, that will work, I guess. Lee took off his weights and set them down on the ground, where they immediately created a crater. Wow, Lee, a little much, you think? Not at all. It is almost time for me to move up another 100 pounds, Lee exclaimed as he got back onto the sheet to try again. Let's do this again. 123, and this time Lee was sent soaring through the air, waving his arms frantically, and when he reached the water he created a splash that was bigger than the others. Lee came back up and looked around only to see that no one was there, and they were all gathered on the beach. Lee quickly made his way back to the shore. The clones continued to throw people until they were out of energy and disappeared. So Naruto, more clones? Ino pleaded. Sure, but let's try everyone at once, he exclaimed. Sure. So Naruto created 50 clones this time and everyone got onto the sheet. Wait, I got an even better idea, Naruto said, chuckling evilly. He created 120 more clones and 20 morphed into an even larger sheet. The new set of clones grabbed this sheet, and the old set got on top of this sheet. So the real people were on top of a sheet held by clones who were on top of a sheet held by clones. Are you sure about this, Naruto? Temari asked, not liking the new idea. Yeah, it will be even better, and besides we are going into the water so it won't really hurt much, Naruto said, getting ready. We will be all the way up in the air, you idiot, Ino bonked him on the head. She then scooted over to him and grabbed his hand. Hinata also moved closer to Kiba. Naruto began the countdown. 3:21 go. The clones on the first level tossed their sheet and then dispersed themselves. They all flew through the air up to about 200 feet, then the next level of clones tossed the real ninja in the air. They flew up to about 500 feet. Ino had wrapped her arms around Naruto as they were in the air. Hinata was also holding on to Kiba's back. Temari and Tenten had grabbed each other, and Kankuro was spinning wildly. Lee was doing a cannonball waiting for the water. All the while the girls are screaming. They hit the water and a huge splash followed. When they surfaced, all of them were laughing their heads off. Wow, that was great, Naruto, Temari said. Yeah, the rest of them said. Yeah, so who is up for volleyball? Kiba asked. So everyone made their way back to the beach and was standing around waiting. So what are the teams? Ino asked. Well, of course it is boys versus girls, Temari replied, getting into her spot in the back. Wait, it will be 4 versus 5, Kankuro snapped back. I'll sit out. I think I am going to go make a castle with Garatsuki said, sitting out. Alright then, let's get it on, Tenten said, wanting to start. Okay, Naruto shouted. No ninja skills this game, Ino said. Fine, everyone chorused. Tenten served the ball to Naruto, who bumped it to Kiba, who hit it up high in the air for Lee. I got it, Lee said as he jumped up high. Ino and Temari both jumped up to block it, and they sent it back at Lee, who had no choice but to let it hit him in the chest. The ball was falling through to the floor. Kankuro dove and saved it, and Naruto hit it back. The rest of the game went on until the girls finally won by 2 points. Okay, now we are using ninja skills, right? Naruto asked, jumping up and down. Sure, Naruto, Ino said back at him, sticking her tongue out. Okay, serve it, Kiba called. Tenten served it to Kankuro, who stood there until the ball almost hit the floor. A puppet popped up from the ground and bumped it up to the other puppet, who smacked it at the girls. Temari whipped out her fan and flung the ball back. This time it went to Kiba. Kiba transformed Akamaru into a clone of himself and waited for the ball to get to the right height. Kiba bumped the ball up to Akamaru, cloned as him, who began their favorite move. Akamaru used a piercing fang, rushing the ball back and scoring. The game continued with everyone using their ninja skills. Eventually the girls came out on top, winning 18-10 thanks to Tenten chucking kunai at anyone who went for the ball. Damn it, we aren't going to win with Tenten's kunai and weapons, Kiba said. Don't worry, I got it covered. Just play normal, you won't even see the kunai, Naruto called, getting ready. You sure about that, Naruto? Ino called back slyly. Yep. Okay, serve it, dog boy, Temari said, wanting to get the cane over. Kiba served the ball over the net, and the girls simply bumped it back. Lee was getting ready to hit it when Tenten threw her kunai. Mass shadow clones, Naruto called out, making a wall of shadow clones that stopped the girls from seeing, and any kunai thrown were deflected back. This continued until the boys caught up and were only down 1, the score being 18-17. I know what to do, girls, Ino said as she walked up to the front of the net and began her family jutsu. Valentine jutsu. Inside Naruto's head. Ino entered Naruto's mind. She saw Naruto standing there waiting. Hi Naruto, sorry B, we can't lose to you, Ino said as she walked over to Naruto and looked him in the eyes. Well, that might work if that was me, the real Naruto called as he appeared behind Ino. What are you talking about? If that is you, then who is this, she said as she turned back to the first Naruto. Hey Ino, how are you? Kyubi said as the first Naruto transformed into his human form. So what are you going to do? Ino said as she backed away from the 2 boys that were slowly advancing on her. Simple, I am going to keep you here until the boys when Kyubi smiled as he stepped in between the real Naruto and Ino. See why in a few minutes, honey Naruto mocked at Ino. She tried to run at Naruto, but was stopped by a hand from Kyubi. Sorry Ino, you aren't going back yet. Want to bet? Ino said as she swiped at Kyubi, who ducked under the punch and smacked Ino in the back of the head with his cane. It didn't hurt much, just felt like a little smack. Ino tried again and again to get out, but each time missed and was struck by Kyubi. She attempted a roundhouse kick to his face, and Kyubi ducked and hit her in the back. Ino fell to the ground and stood right back up in the same position as before. Ino, you won't hit me, so please just wait. No, I am not going to lose to Naruto, she yelled as she aimed a kick this time at his feet. Kyubi sighed and simply changed to his nine-tailed fox form and wrapped Ino up in his tails. See, now this could have been a lot easier, you know, Kyubi said, laying his head down to rest. Arg, Naruto, you are going to get it, Ino said, trying to break free. Back at volleyball. Naruto came back and told them that Ino was out for the rest of the game, so Naruto moved her out of the way. They then continued the game. The boys won thanks to Naruto's army covering the floor, keeping the ball from touching it. After the boys won, Kyubi released Ino from Naruto's mind. Once she entered her body, she got up and hit Naruto over the head. Cheater was all she said as she walked next to him. We won, Kiba yelled as he and Kankuro jumped around. Frisbee time? Kiba asked. I'm in, Naruto stated. Ino, Tenten and Temari also said they were in. The rest went back into the water. Kiba tossed the frisbee to Akamaru, jumped and caught it in his mouth and flipped through the air and landed on all fours. Naruto was trying to catch frisbees from the three girls who were ganging up on him. Will you slow down? This isn't fair, Naruto said, catching frisbees and throwing them back while trying to keep them from hitting his face, until he summoned a couple of clones to help him out. After a couple minutes, the rest of the group had returned from the water, and everyone packed up ready to leave. Yeah, let's go back now, Temari said, upset that Naruto and his clones had beat them again. Fine, let me get Gaara and Shugi, Kankuro said as he rushed off to tell them. The group was walking back to a clearing at the edge of town, where Gaara would build his sand house. Hey, we need a name, since we can't be the Konoha 12, Kiba said. How about the Wave 13, Tenten asked. It will work for now, I guess, Naruto complained. It will be fine, Kiba, Ino said. They arrived at the spot again and Gaara made the sand house again. They all entered and Lee went to find Twichi and Iam and tell them where the house was, as well as getting Niji, Shikamaru, and Shino from Tazuna's house. Ino once again drugged Naruto into a room for themselves, and Tenten, Iam and Temari bunked together with Hinata in a larger room. Kiba, Kankuro and Lee were going to share a room, and so were Niji, Shino and Shikamaru. Twichi had a room to himself. Naruto summoned Kyubi and let him sleep in the living room with Gaara. This time he returned to his two-tailed form and laid down in the fire after Gaara started one. They all went to sleep, looking forward to the first day of building their new village. Chapter 4, Beginning. Hey everyone, just to let you know, there are some spots that are supposed to be bolded but aren't. I do not know why they are just like that. It happens in both stories. I have it done in Word, but when I upload them they aren't bolded. So I am sorry if it gets confusing at points. Also, it seems people like this story better, so I am working more on this one. Also, another story is in progress. And school is starting soon, so updates may take longer, but I will not forget them. Whaleshark. Naruto was the first to wake and went out with Kyubi to get something they could have for breakfast because Naruto was sick of fish. They returned an hour later with a bag of dead rabbits and a wild boar. On their way back, some villagers had given them some eggs. They woke Twichi and he made them breakfast. Everyone awoke to the smell of fresh meat and eggs. They then gathered in the living room to eat. So what is the agenda for today, brain guys? Naruto directed at Shino, Shikamaru and Niji. Well, yesterday we did the basic things, Niji said from the sofa. Today, Naruto, we are going to start chopping wood and digging the foundation for the wall, as well as building more buildings in the city for administration and for new people as well as us. Shino stated as he adjusted his glasses. Yeah, the wall is going to be very complex. It is going to be about 20 feet thick, made of concrete. The main gate will be on the path from the bridge. There will also be a smaller secondary gate on the other side of the village. This gate is surrounded entirely by forest, so it will be relatively hidden. The wall will encompass the entire village, leaving out only the docks for the boats and the farmland outside, Shikamaru said as he put his plate down. The wall will have wooden spikes at the bottom, and wooden spikes on the wall facing down that will prevent ninja from running up it. There will also be a large tower right inside the gate that will give us an advantage of elevation to counter anyone who breaks through the gate. Niji said. Wow, you guys got it all worked out, huh? Naruto said. Yeah, and that is just the defenses. For housing, we are going to build simple 4-story houses that have apartments inside. There will only be one large hotel that will let us know where any outsiders are staying, and we can keep an eye on them easier. Anything else? Tamari said. No, that is all we got planned for now, Naruto. The main things today are to chop down wood and dig the foundation for the wall. Shikamaru pointed out the most important things so Naruto didn't forget. Kyubi, there is a quarry on the other side of the island. If you, Lee, Gaara and Shugi could go there and get us some materials each day, that would be great. Shino said, showing a map of the island, and pointed out the quarry. No problem. Besides, that gives me something to do all day instead of watch what Naruto does. Everyone snickered at Kyubi's remark and Naruto threw a fork at him. I think I am going to get the wood from the other side of the bridge. That will give us more cover around here and keep the forest alive. Hey Kyubi, do you think that I could get another fox to help with that? Sure, you could do that, and I am sure they will help. Well, I got that covered then, and I guess you all will lead 200 clones? Naruto asked. That is plenty, Naruto. Shikamaru will be planning with Tazuna and Niji again, and Shino will be overseeing the foundation construction so Naruto doesn't mess it up. And that's it for now, Shino said as he stood up. Okay, those plans are great, but you missed one thing, Naruto pointed out. And what is that? Shikamaru asked, raising an eyebrow. The new Ichiraku ramen, Naruto yelled out, followed by I am giggling and Twechi smiling. Shikamaru laughed and smiled. How could I forget? I guess we can put it right next to the Hokage's office, he said as he pointed out the area on the map. Arielala, Naruto yelled out. Yeah, now quiet down, Shikamaru said. Sorry. We will get to that sometime today, so go ahead and get the other stuff done for now, Shikamaru said, exiting with and Niji to go see Tazuna. Well, let's get started, Naruto said, exiting the sand house. Everyone smiled at Naruto's enthusiasm and got up and followed him to the yard out front. Naruto was in the middle and had his hands in the normal cross seal. How many clones per person did you say, Shikamaru? 200 is fine, he lazily replied. Okay, here goes, mass shadow clone. The entire area was suddenly covered in orange. Okay, I want 200 clones, taking orders from each one of them, got it? Naruto yelled, making sure all of his clones could hear him. Alright, the clones yelled simultaneously. Everyone took their legion and went to their posts to start the day's work. Hey Kyubi, how about a refill? Naruto asked. Fine, but I also need my nine-tailed form to get the quarry work done, so give me some more chakra next time you summon me, brat. Fine, Naruto replied, and Kyubi burst into a cloud and re-entered his cage within Naruto. Naruto glowed red from the refill and then brought Kyubi back out. Summoning jutsu, Kyubi, and this time he was in his nine-tailed form. All of the villagers stopped their daily activities and looked up at Kyubi, who was towering above them. They all smiled and went back to their routines, knowing there were good times ahead. Okay, who's with me? Kyubi said, lowering his head. Lee, Gaara, and Shugi hopped on his head and got settled. See you later, brats, and Kyubi took off to the other side of the island. Naruto took off to the bridge and kept going. Everyone else left with their legion and got to work telling the clones what to do. In 10 minutes Naruto had reached the other side of the bridge and was about 3 miles from the bridge when he stopped. Okay, time to summon someone big, Naruto smiled and bit his thumb. Summoning jutsu. A cloud of smoke erupted from his hand and a white 7-tailed fox stepped out. Who summoned me? The fox demanded. I did, Kyubi gave me the contract, Naruto said to the fox. Do you have proof? Well, not really, I am his vessel, though. Naruto thought of the only thing that might work. The fox closed its eyes and then opened them. This time they were leaking white chakra. I see, so you are his vessel, and you being the only human around must have been the one to summon me. Yeah, Naruto shot back. Well, my name is Orion. I am the leader of the snow foxes, the fox said, bowing. Snow foxes? Are there different tribes of foxes or something? Naruto asked, confused. Yes, we are different in only the element we have better control over. I can control water, ice and earth to a small level. Well, I kind of summoned you because I am going to be chopping down a whole lot of wood for our new village, and I need your help bringing it back to the village. Naruto explained. That is no problem. I haven't had much to do back home anyways. Well, how do you expect to cut down all the trees? I could do it, but they wouldn't be any good to use. Don't worry, I got that covered, Naruto said, crossing his fingers in the cross seal. Mass shadow clone. And the entire area was now orange, brown and green. Orion just whistled. Wow, that is a lot of clones there, Naruto. Yep, my favorite move, and that was my chakra, not Kyubi's, Naruto pointed out. I could tell, Kyubi's chakra is a lot denser and more potent. Oh well, let me get the clones to work, and then I will tell you what our plans are for the village, Naruto said. Alright, everyone listen up, we need to chop down this whole area into logs that we can use for buildings and stuff. Naruto started in his orders. He then went on to explain the lengths and sizes. After he finished, he explained to Orion their new village. Well, that is a great idea, especially with Lord Kyubi being the guardian. Yeah, We are going to be the strongest ninja village eventually, Naruto said while looking at his clones do the work. Naruto, may I ask you a favor? Sure, what is it? Well, my daughter, Mirayan, and her family are looking for a new place to live, for our territory has become cramped and there isn't much room anywhere else. There is Mirayan and her husband Hector, and their family, which would be about 100 new foxes to come and live on the island with you. They would help your people as well, and Orion tried to continue but was cut off by Naruto. Of course, anyone with a good heart is welcome to come and live here. Thank you, Naruto. No problem, although I have one question, how are they getting here? Naruto asked, totally puzzled. You could do a mass summoning, but that would be hard because you might not get the right foxes. Orion thought for a moment, or Lord Kyuubi could open a portal. I like the Kyuubi opening a portal idea, easy, and we could do it away from the village. Naruto replied. Thank you, is tonight good then? Yeah, I will get Kyuubi to do that, once we get back to the village with all this wood. Naruto replied. Of course, almost forgot about all that. Well, I think we got enough, Naruto said looking around. The entire forest for a 1-mile radius was completely barren of trees. There was clones standing around and waiting for orders, as what to do next. Naruto morphed 300 clones into a giant leather mat, and then rigged it to Orion. Then the clones loaded him up with wood, and he set off. Naruto created 2,000 more clones to get the rest of the wood and carry it back. Naruto jumped up onto Orion's head and talked the whole way home. Back at the village, Naruto and Orion walked back to find a dry river that encompassed the whole village. This would be the start for their foundation. Shikamaru had Naruto spread the wood around evenly, just like he did with Kyuubi and the rocks. The spot where the gate would be was dug even thicker and a little bit deeper. So Shikamaru, everything go good today? Yeah, we got everything that was on the agenda done for today. Next is the harder stuff, actually putting the wall together. Shikamaru said while inspecting part of the foundation. Good job, anyone seen Kyuubi? Naruto asked. He said he was going to hunt for something to eat, and he would be back in an hour. Temari called. Okay, thanks. Hey Shikamaru, could I talk to you in private? Naruto whispered at the end. Sure, Shikamaru said, leading Naruto to an empty part of the area. What is it, Naruto? Well, Orion's daughter and her family are going to be living here on the island with us, and I was wondering which side of the island you wanted them on. That doesn't really matter, although I have one question, are they going to be friendly towards the villagers? No, they are going to attack at first sight of anyone, of course they are going to be friendly, Naruto screamed out at the end. Troublesome, Naruto, why are you so loud? Shikamaru complained, walking away. Because that was a dumb question. Well, I am hungry, Naruto said aloud. Well then you are in luck, that was the first thing we did today, Shikamaru called. What did you do today? Naruto asked. Built and finished the new Ichiraku ramen, Ino said, walking up to him and entwining their hands. Woohoo, alright, anyone want to go? Naruto asked, running in place. No one raised their hands and Ino turned and began to pull him off to the new ramen stand. Orion finished dispersing the wood around the area and then dismissed himself to tell his daughter. The rest went to sleep in the sand house, all tired from the day's work, except for Lee, who began to run some laps around the village. Ichiraku ramen. The new ramen stand was a lot bigger than before. There was seating for well over 50 people, plus the stools at the counter. The walls all had different pictures of food on them, and what Naruto saw next made him jump for joy. There on the end of the counter was a different colored stool that had a plague with a picture of him on it. It said seat reserved for Ichiraku's #1 customer. At this, Naruto jumped more and more, and Ino just smiled, standing there waiting for him to finish. Twichi and Ayam emerged from the kitchen from the noise and saw Naruto jumping around. Must have found his stool, Twichi whispered to Ayam, who just giggled. So Naruto, what can I get for you? Twichi asked, still holding his ladle. The usual, fill it with everything, he said from his stool. And for you, Ino? Ayam asked. Just a vegetable one is fine. Their food came and they began to eat. Naruto was already on his 7th bowl. So Naruto, do you think we should start testing out these new powers? Ino asked. Naruto finished a mouthful of noodles before answering, yeah, we should get to that sometime soon, right after we are done here then. Sounds good, but we will need to find Lee. I got it covered, Naruto said as a few puffs of smoke appeared behind him and the clones all set off to find Lee. Naruto returned to his ramen as Ino just sat there talking with Ayam. Outside of village and forest, Naruto, Lee and Ino were all sitting on the ground around a stump. On top of this stump sat the human-looking Kyuubi. He had both hands on his staff and began talking. These powers will make you stronger than anyone else. Now this does not mean to stop your regular training, which you must still do as well. This training is just as important. The seal will restore your energy gradually. This will basically make your body need 2 hours less sleep, giving you time to train. Naruto, Ino and Lee all moved their hands to their seals and looked up at Kyubi, who had a smile on his face. All right, stand up. The first step is to gain the trust of your element. Trust? Naruto asked. Yes, you must gain power over an element from the element itself, Kyubi said in a sage-like voice, while the other three growled at him. Okay, hold out your hand and concentrate on your element. Envision the element in your hand. The three stuck out their hands and began. The air around Ino began to become mistier, and then water began to drip out of the mist to form a ball of swirling water in Ino's hand. Ino opened her eyes at her accomplishment. The water then began to flow all around her body, jumping around, making her giggle. Nice work, Ino, your element trusts you. Naruto and Lee were still concentrating. The earth around Lee suddenly shot up, encasing him in a ball of earth. The earth then began to crumble away, turning to sand, which then flowed to Lee's hand. Then the sand turned back into a chunk of rock with sand flowing around it. Good, Lee, you have its trust as well. Come on, Naruto, you are the only one left. I'm trying, he grumbled out. Naruto's hand burst into flame, encompassing his hand completely. The flame then turned a darker shade of red and began to drip off of his hand, still burning and flaming. The ground around Naruto opened up and molten rock spewed forth, flowing around his feet, but not burning him at all. Wow, brat, the element has better trust in you than it does in me, Kyubi said, amazed. Naruto put on his fox smile. Well, now all you have to do is feel the element, and imagine what you would like it to do. I suggest trying something small first, like swirling it around or turning into a specific object. Ino quickly thought of Naruto, and the water in her hand morphed into a small replica of Naruto. Wow, Ino, you are a lot quicker in this than the other two. Take that, Naruto, Ino said as she stuck out her tongue. The earth in Lee's hand turned into a replica of Guy, and it made a good guy pose. Alright, I got it, and I miss Guy-sensei, Lee cried out. Ha, Naruto, you are last again. The fire around him turned into a large ball of flame, which he held in both hands. It then began to become round. Naruto laughed as he held a bowl of ramen made from fire in his hands. Ah ha ha ha, I can't believe he made a bowl of ramen and not an image of you, Ino, Kyubi said, holding his sides. Naruto, you are so predictable, Ino said, sighing as she knew it was futile to get an answer out of him. Well, it seems you three have a natural ability to control your element aside from the seals. This will make it much easier to wield this power. You three have also progressed extremely far. Most people take a couple of months just to gain the trust of their element. So I am guessing in about 5 months you will have a good level of control over your element. Kyubi, why 5 months? Lee asked. Kyubi smiled, showing his canine teeth. That is when the next Chunin exams are. Really, we are going to go? Naruto asked, still practicing with the fire in his hands. Yes, I think you should go and show them that the new village hidden in the waves is not to be messed with. This will also allow us to show off, which will get people to give us missions instead of the other nations. Ah, so basically it is to get recognition, Ino said, juggling the water in her hands. Precisely, I figure that is the best way to show our power. Yes, but what if one of the other villages decide to attack our village when we are not done fortifying our defenses? Naruto asked. Ah, you forget about me though, brat. No one will attack once some unlucky fool finds me. Yeah, I really wouldn't want to be that guy, Naruto said, laughing. But then who is going to be our sensei? Ino asked. I guess Orion will have to take a vacation on the island when we go. Well, that was settled quick, Naruto remarked, still amazed at the fire around his hand and not burning him. Exactly. Also, I have another idea for the village. I would like to place a seal over the island, and on each citizen of Wave. It will allow us to see anyone who is a fake, because they will not bear the seal. Basically, it is to prevent spies. Wow, that is a great idea, Kyubi, Lee exclaimed. Yes, that can be done whenever. I guess, Naruto, you will have to help me with administering the seal, as to get it done as soon as possible. Great idea, but how will we know who is a spy? Ino asked, still practicing. I will place a master seal in the village. It will ignite the seals on everyone, showing proof that they are Wave citizens and not intruders. Also, another seal will control some village defenses, such as lengthening the spikes on the walls or raising the walls themselves. And it can only be activated by those who bear the seal of Wave. Man, Kyubi, you really have this all planned out. I am 10,000 years old, why do you think I look like this? Kyubi said, smiling. Well, Kyubi, you and me have the rest of the night worked out, so let's go. I can catch up on my training later, Naruto said as he began to walk off with Kyubi. Fine, keep up the training, you two. Try to make a creature out of your element that acts like a real animal. We will see you back at the house later, Ino called, and Lee just yelled something about youth. Deep within the surrounding forest, Naruto and Kyubi were speeding off to an undetermined location when Kyubi stopped, leaving Naruto to look at him, but keep going, crashing into a tree. Ha ha ha, I couldn't resist that one, you idiot, Kyubi said, holding his sides in laughter. Whatever, is this spot good enough? Naruto called, getting out of the Naruto-shaped hole in the tree. Yes, this will do. It will take me a couple of minutes to open the portal, so just ignore me and keep practicing, Kyubi said as he put his staff down and his hands together, and then started chanting in a language Naruto had never heard of before. Fine. Naruto jumped to the ground and began to call upon the fire element in his mind. A large ball of flame once again engulfed his hands. Awesome, Naruto said, waving his hands around with the fire following them whatever they did. Cool, so basically I have a new taijutsu style, Naruto thought aloud and then went back to trying out new punches. He then tried to ignite his feet, but they caught on fire and he had to struggle to get it out. Kyubi opened his eyes as he finished his chanting. Open was all he said. A spot in the air cracked with lightning and then the air around Naruto got really cold. The spot began to grow larger and larger all the while lightning was jumping through and around it. The spot grew into a dark purple portal that was about 50 feet tall and 30 foot wide. Out first stepped Orion, checking the surrounding area. When he spotted Kyubi in his human form, he bowed down with his muzzle almost touching the ground. Arise, there is no need for that, Kyubi said, not wanting to be worshipped. My daughter and her family is all ready to come through, may they? Orion asked. Sure, tell them to come on and find a spot, Naruto called from next to Kyubi. Orion shot a shard of ice back through the portal and a minute later a 10-foot tall, white four-tailed fox came through, followed by a slightly larger orange five-tailed fox. Mirion and Hector, I presume, Naruto said, yelling a bit so everyone could hear him. We are they. Nice to meet you, Naruto. You as well, Lord Kyubi, they both said, bowing. No need for that, just find a spot that you all like and get settled. Sorry I can't stick around, but me and Naruto have something else to do. The portal will close in 5 minutes, so please make sure everyone is through by then, Orion, Kyubi said, standing up with his staff. I will, Lord Kyubi, and I thank you for your service, and I thank you, Naruto, for allowing us to stay here. No problem, Naruto said, smiling. Okay, brat, let's go, Kyubi said as he jumped off into the forest followed by Naruto. Village Square. Well, Naruto, this is a perfect spot to place the seal. Well, I would think. It is in the middle of the town, easily accessible and next to the other seal, Naruto said. Well, let me draw the seal out. Go back to practicing. Naruto tried to create an animal out of fire, and before you ask, choose whatever is easiest for you. Alright, I am going. I will be over there, Naruto said, walking over to an empty part of the square that Kyubi would not need. Naruto once again called upon the fire element, and the flames engulfed his hands. He then closed his eyes and thought of an animal associated with fire. The fire in his hands stopped dancing around and all formed together to create a shape. The flames kept changing and finally in Naruto's hands stood a 2-foot-tall phoenix. The flames solidified and the phoenix squawked. Kyubi looked up from drawing. I cannot believe that you actually summoned a phoenix. What is it, something special? Yes, summoning a phoenix out of fire means that you will be extremely powerful in the element of fire. He may even stick around to help you out, and become your partner, just like Akamaru and Kiba. Wow, really? Naruto said, looking back at the phoenix in his hands. The phoenix squawked and then opened its wings and began to fly around, leaving a trail of flame and smoke wherever it flew. Kyubi smiled and returned to his drawings. Well, that stuff has been pretty easy. Let me try shooting a flaming ball, Naruto said, raising his hand and a palm pointed straight up. I would suggest that you not try that yet, you still aren't that adept at controlling this element, Naruto. I got it covered completely, Naruto said, and then concentrated until a ball of fire appeared in his hands and then exploded when he tried to shoot it. Naruto was coughing through all the smoke from the mishap and eventually made it free from all the smoke. Cough man can't do that, Naruto said, clearing away the smoke. I told you, idiot, Kyubi called from his seal. The phoenix then flew into the back of Naruto's head. You idiot, did Kyubi tell you not to try that yet? Yes, but you can talk? Naruto asked, amazed. Yes, I can. Next time be careful, you are lucky that you shot straight up. If you had hit something, the whole place would be set ablaze and then that would be a pain in the ass. Wow, I still can't believe you can talk. Did you hear anything I just said? The phoenix was now screaming in Naruto's face. Yeah, I heard you. I won't do it again for a while, Naruto said, backing away from the phoenix. Good, you idiot. Great, not you too, Naruto said, putting his head down. Oh, by the way, what is your name? My name is Vulcan, he said as he made the best bow a bird could do. Okay, Vulcan, so are you my partner or something? Yes, you seem to have more control over the element of fire than I have seen in any human before. Wow, and here I thought I had an affinity for wind, Naruto said, looking at the dancing flames. You do, but apparently when Kyubi gave you the seal it awakened your fire affinity, and because of Kyubi having a fire affinity, yours is basically boosted a lot. Wow, so I am fire and wind type, right? Naruto asked. It would seem so. So what would happen if I combined the Rasengan with some fire? Naruto asked, thinking about the technique in his head. You would have a damn powerful attack, something that could probably hurt me when perfected. Kyubi called. Cool, Naruto said through a huge smile. I am going to try it with just a little bit of fire, and see what happens, Naruto said as he began to form the Raisengans in one hand. Naruto, I suggest that you don't try to use that on anything yet, you might wind up injuring yourself if you do not have enough control over it. I guess, Naruto said, frowning as he slowly began to take away chakra from the Raisengan in his hand. It started spinning slower, and then fizzled out. You will have yourself a very strong attack there, Naruto, Vulcan said as he perched himself on Naruto's shoulder. Well, I am done for now, I will finish the rest in the morning, Kyubi said as he placed a barrier around the seal and then turned into his two-tailed form and jumped on Naruto's other shoulder. Great, I am now a horse? Naruto said sarcastically. Yep. You got it. Damn old fools, Naruto said as he jumped up towards the sand house. Gaara's house. Naruto, Kyubi and Vulcan entered the front door of the house. As soon as they entered, Naruto was whipped with something and heard a giggle. He looked behind the door to see Ino standing there with some water around her hand. So I take it you were the one who whipped me? Naruto asked. Of course, who else do you think it? Hey, is that a phoenix? Ino said, completely ignoring the fact that she just whipped Naruto. Yeah, I sort of made him out of the fire. I didn't know that was possible. Well, you have proof as I am standing right here, Vulcan stated angrily. Geez, he's more of a grump than Kyubi. I heard that, brat. So what if you did, what are you going to do about it, you wimpy fox? Ino said, teasing him in his small form. This, Kyubi said as he grabbed Vulcan with his tails and threw him at Ino. Ino freaked out because of the incoming projectile, but it never hit because Vulcan flew back to Naruto's shoulder after knocking Kyubi down onto the floor and grumbling about stupid foxes. Well, that plan didn't work now, did it? Ino said back. Ino, I really don't think you should get Kyubi mad, Naruto pleaded. And why is that? Because he is kind of standing behind you, Naruto said, smiling. Ino whipped around to see Kyubi standing there in his human form. He was smiling and he lifted his cane into the air and bonked Ino over the head with it. Hey Ino, now what were you saying, about wimpy foxes? Hey, nothing, just how cute they are, Ino said, hoping to avoid some pain. Fine, if you can lay a hit on me with your water, then I will not punish you. Naruto, how come you aren't helping me? Ino yelled at him. Naruto turned and walked into the kitchen area with Vulcan. I am not getting involved, I am hungry. Damn, Naruto, well, I guess I have no choice but to try and hit you, Ino said, taking a stance with water around her hands. It would seem you have plenty of control over the water, from your stance. All I have done so far is call upon it, and use it as a whip. That just happens to be what I need to do, Ino said, smirking. I got $10 on Kyubi, Naruto said as he returned with a sandwich in his hands and Vulcan was holding a pack of crackers. We will see, I will not even move my feet, Kyubi bragged. Let's go, wimpy fox, Ino said as she lashed out with some water. Kyubi smiled and then ducked under it. Ino retracted the water and formed a ball in her hands again. She then lashed out again, this time in a smaller string that was headed right for his head. Kyubi stood there and at the last second his cane intercepted the water and smashed it back at Ino. Almost, Ino, but I'm still betting on Kyubi, Naruto called from the couch. I agree with Naruto, you have no chance whatsoever. I thought you were supposed to be on my side, Naruto. Arg, Ino grumbled out, and then from her hands 2 strings of water dashed out this time. Kyubi reached out and hit one, stopping it, and then leaned back and stopped the other one, the whole time his feet never moving. Man, this is harder than I thought, Ino whined. Really, I think there would be a reason I am king of the demons. Well, time for the trump card, Ino said as the water around her hands lengthened and turned into a blade that followed the length of her arm, staying about an inch away from touching her arm at all time. Ino then dashed off and tried to hit Kyubi again, but he kept pushing her back from the blows of his staff. You do not have enough control and power yet to hit me with any water besides the water blades around your hand, and as you can see you cannot hit me. Oh yeah, Ino said as she ran at him this time and lashed out with the water. Kyubi spun his staff quickly, once again stopping the water. Ino then went to punch him in the face and Kyubi turned his head so her fist missed. Ino then had water appear from her other fist and aimed for the back of Kyubi's head. Just as the water was about to hit him, Kyubi burst into flames, effectively evaporating the water before it could reach him. The flames around Kyubi also made it impossible for Ino to stay close because of the heat, and she was forced to retreat. See, now you cannot touch me with the water. I told you, Ino, he was messing with you the whole time, Naruto said, smiling. Fine, whatever, so what is my punishment? Ino asked, pissed that she lost. You and Naruto have to share a single bed, no butts, and sleep on the roof. Wait, how did I get involved in this? Naruto called from the couch. When you didn't help me, Ino growled out. Damn it. I love when I win, Kyubi laughed out. Damn foxes, and their evil ways, Naruto growled as he left with a blanket, followed by Ino, who was smiling but still upset at the current situation. On the roof, Ino was sitting on the bed and Naruto was on the other side looking up with his hands behind his head. Ino looked over to Naruto. "You know, maybe this isn't as bad as it could be." Naruto looked to Ino. "Yeah, I guess not, I mean I am sharing a bed with a very beautiful girl." Ino blushed and lay down next to him. "I love you, Naruto," was all she said as she lay her head on his chest. "Yeah, I love you too, Ino," Naruto said, wrapping his hand around Ino's waist. "You know, I don't think this could get any better." "Probably not." Next day, everyone awoke and was in the living room eating some fried eggs and bacon. "So brain guys, today's agenda?" Naruto asked, taking a bite of bacon. "Simple, we start the wall, and as I hear you, Lee, and Ino have training?" Shikamaru lazily said. "Yeah, QB thinks we should enter the next Chunin exams and kick butt, and something about gaining reputation to bring in missions." "Ah man, how come you guys get to go?" Tenten pouted. "Because they will destroy everyone there. I would say in about 5 months Naruto would be a match for Jiraiya," QB said, making his presence known. "I see, you want to dominate them all, I guess?" Shino said. "Yep." "Well, how come it is you three? I mean, I know Naruto is the strongest and Lee is pretty strong, but why Ino?" Kiba asked. Naruto had to stand between Kiba and Ino so they did not get into a rumble. "Well, dog boy, why don't I show you?" Ino said. "Sure, outside?" Kiba said, accepting the challenge. "You're on." "I got $10 on Ino," QB said, hopping to Naruto's shoulder, and everyone exiting the house. Outside, Ino was facing off against Kiba, who began the fight, charging forward with his claws raised. Kiba swung at Ino and she jumped back and landed in a crouched position. Kiba attacked again and Ino jumped over him and landed crouching. "What are you going to keep dodging me?" "I guess I will show you, I got training to do," Ino said as she stood up straight. She brought both hands forward and summoned the water element. It began to trickle up her arms to her hand and formed the ball. "Kiba, let me introduce you to the rushing water style," Ino finished as the water lengthened into her water blades. Kiba stared wide-eyed and smirked. "So a little water is going to stop me?" Then he charged. He attempted a downward slash but was stopped and then sliced on his arm. Kiba jumped back. "What, you didn't say any jutsu and there isn't even any water around?" "That is because I have control over the water element," Ino said, sticking out her tongue. "Well, I don't care if you had the power over fire," Kiba barked back. "No, that is Naruto." "What, well then I guess Lee is Earth." "Yeah, he actually is." Kiba smacked his forehead and then took off towards Ino. "Let's see some water stop this." "Tsuga," Kiba said, beginning his whirlwind of claws. Ino deformed the water blades and concentrated it in the center of her right palm and began to spin in. Kiba crashed into the water and began to slow down. Eventually he was stopped completely and fell to the ground. When he stood, Ino held a water blade at his throat. "And that is what I can do, not even counting Lee or Naruto," Ino said as she released him. "Yep, but right now we got some work to do and training," Naruto said as he jumped to the middle of the clearing and made his favorite hand sign. "Mass Shadow Clone." He yelled out as once again the sea of orange formed and overtook everyone. "Alright, get to work," and then the clone set out to do the day's work. All that was left in the clearing was Naruto, Ino, Lee, QB, and Vulcan. "Well, I am going to work on a new technique with Vulcan here," Naruto said as he pointed to the phoenix on his shoulder. "Don't forget me, brat." "Who could?" Naruto said sarcastically. "Alright, then I am going to go train with Lee," Ino said as her and Lee headed off. Naruto turned the other way and heard Lee yell something about youth. "Well, shall we get started?" Naruto asked before he disappeared into the forest with the 2 fire beings perched on his shoulders. In the forest, Naruto was standing there with Vulcan and QB. "So brat, what are you going to be doing?" "A new technique, probably my strongest yet." "Oh yeah, what is that?" "I call it the Burning Rasengan." "Nice name." "Yeah, let me get to it, Mass Shadow Clone." On with the story. 3 months later, Naruto was sparring with Lee and they were both using their elemental powers. Everyone else was gathered watching, even some citizens of Wave. Naruto tried a punch to Lee's chest. A wall of earth rose up and blocked the attack and Lee charged at it. The earth shattered and turned to sand as Lee sped through it and hit Naruto in the chest, sending him spinning backwards. Go Lee-sensei called Atsuko, a blue-haired boy who specialized in taijutsu just like Lee. He knew some earth ninjutsu and was extremely powerful. Just like Lee, he wore a green jumpsuit. His other 2 teammates under Lee were cheering, just not as loud. The blonde girl was named Katsu, who wore a black ninja suit. She was smaller than the rest of the children their age, but had taken after Lee in that she wore extreme amounts of weights, and thus she was faster than any other child taken on as an apprentice to Naruto or Lee. Their other teammate was a black-haired girl named Suki. She excelled in ninjutsu, already being able to create a water clone and a very weak water dragon. Naruto sprung back at Lee with burning hands. The earth once again rose up to stop Naruto, but he smashed right through it. Lee had no choice but to dodge. Kyuubi had thought to make the ninja better, so everyone was wearing weights, including the senseis. As a result, everyone was quicker than they appeared. Burning arrows, Naruto called out with his hands in the position of shooting a bow. Fire sprouted from his hands and shot out in the form of many flaming arrows. Lee dropped his weights and took off sprinting around dodging the arrows. Lee disappeared and reappeared next to Naruto with his fist encased in rock. Naruto turned and grabbed Lee's fist, making Naruto slide back about 10 feet, but Naruto had succeeded in stopping him right in his tracks. He then grabbed his other hand, effectively stopping him from escaping. Ignite, Naruto called as his whole body was engulfed in flames. Earth rose in front of Lee to try and protect him. Lee jumped up and kicked off of Naruto's chest, freeing himself. "Ino, I think I need your help to beat him again," Lee said, looking over to her. "No problem," Ino said as she jumped next to Lee with her water blades already active. "Come on," Naruto-sensei called one of his students. They were a set of triplets, all having dark red hair and freckles. They were all talented in the art of fire, thus Naruto was perfect for their sensei. They just happened to have a talent for pranks as well. The oldest was a girl, Mimi. She had long hair that was tied into 2 ponytails that hung down her back. She had 2 brothers that did everything together and sometimes finished each other's sentences, which annoyed their sister. They were Kyu and Ryu, and most of the time you could not tell them apart. There was other young ninja, but they were still in the academy. There they were being trained by many different teachers, including Chugi, Hinata, Tenten, Kiba, and Shikamaru. They did this in order to make their students stronger than any others. There was only 2 teams right now because they were stronger than the rest. Lee and Ino charged at Naruto, who stood there with fire burning from his hands. Lee disappeared and reappeared behind Naruto, fist encased with rock and sand following him. Ino had her water blades, but this time they were different. They were still along her arms, but they also had a trail of water that froze after leaving her arm. This made it look as if she was dancing. Her fists were encased in a cone of water that was spinning at an incredible rate, rivaling the speed of the Rasengan. She also had a suit of armor made entirely of water. As soon as they were within 5 feet of Naruto, he smiled. "Spin," Naruto said as the fire engulfed him as he began to spin violently. A sphere of flame rose and looked exactly like Niji's heavenly spin, except it was made of flames. Lee and Ino both stopped and jumped backwards. They both put their hands together and shot a dragon made of their elements. As they neared Naruto, he put his hands up at each one. A burning red dragon sprouted from both hands and crashed into the water and earth dragon, canceling them out. This collision created a huge amount of dust. When it cleared, everyone was amazed to find Naruto's legs and arms encased in earth, and Ino standing there with a water blade to his throat. Lee rose from out of the ground and smiled. "We win this time, Naruto," Lee said, walking over next to Ino and Naruto. "Ah man, I almost had you too," Naruto pouted. "Well, that was fun. I guess we got to get to work now, hey everyone?" Naruto said as Lee released the earth holding him. "Yep, let's get started," Naruto said as he created the sea of orange that began to get to work around the village, creating new buildings and anything else that had to be done. Everyone went to oversee the construction, and the Elemental 3 went to train. The wall was completed. It was 50 feet high and 20 feet thick. There was wooden spikes that were only a foot long that lined the entire wall all the way around the village. Kyuubi had drawn another intricate seal in the middle of town, next to the citizen detector seal. This new seal could be controlled only by 10 citizens of Wave. This seal could lengthen the spikes on the wall instantaneously and summon some earth golems around the entire village, in case they were ever invaded. A tower had been built in between both of the major seals. This was where the leader worked from. It was taller than the Hokage's tower and surrounded by a moat of rushing water. The constant moving and rushing of the water makes it very difficult to cross even for ninja. The village did not have an official leader, but Kyuubi and Tazuna had that job covered. Kyuubi was regarded as an elder for his wisdom as well as his help to the village. Tazuna was also regarded an elder for his work on the bridge, which saved the country. Kyuubi often wandered around helping any way he could, leaving Tazuna to the paperwork. Kyuubi loved walking around because all of the little kids ran up to him asking for a story or if he could summon a fox for them to play with. Naruto would be the Namikage, but he was still in training for that job. Probably after the exams he would take over as head of the village. In the forest with Naruto and Vulcan. Naruto was talking with Vulcan while a mass of clones worked on the fire manipulation. "I cannot wait for the Chunin exams. And they happen to be in Konoha because the last ones were interrupted. Ah yes, it has been a while since I was actually able to fight. I love flying around while on fire and blasting fire around." "Yeah, I noticed," Naruto said, pointing to an area of burnt forest. "Well, last time I was having too much fun." "Sure you were," Naruto said sarcastically. A 3-tailed white fox jumped out from the brush, somewhat out of breath. "Naruto-sama, my name is Ember. I have been sent to inform you that intruders have been spotted crossing the bridge. They wear a headband of Cloud Country, with a slash through it. Alright, I am on it, Naruto said as he dismissed all of his clones except for 2. You too, go warn the others, Naruto said. No need, my sister has already gone to do that. The fox informed them. Naruto smiled and dismissed his remaining 2 clones and took off towards the bridge with Ember following and Vulcan flying next to him. When they arrived near the bridge, Naruto hid in the tree line waiting to see who it was. Vulcan flew overhead as a regular bird would and Ember was hiding behind Naruto. The intruders were 11 missing Nin from Cloud. A ninja turned to another. I hear that this land has prospered since Gato was killed off by that Kakashi of Konoha. Yeah, he beat Zabuza of the Mist, and then took on Gato and his little army of thugs. That's not how I heard it. I heard that Zabuza had an apprentice who was stronger than himself, and she was beat by some genin. So you are saying that a genin beat someone stronger than Zabuza of the Mist? Yeah, that's how I had it. That is stupid. Look, there is Zabuza's grave, let's see what it says. Zabuza Momochi, swordsman of the Mist. Man, that's all he was known for, killing some classmates. I think I am going to get rid of this grave, and take this sword and sell it, one of the ninjas said, reaching for the sword. Naruto decided it was time to intervene and made himself known before they defiled the grave. The ninja pulled the blade from the ground behind Zabuza's tombstone. As soon as he lifted it from the ground, he was set ablaze and fell to the ground screaming from being burned alive. Magma strike, Naruto said in an eerie voice, trying to stall for backup. After seeing their comrade lit on fire, they all took defensive stances. And who are you, brat? One of 3 ninjas said when he noticed Naruto. I am the fire champion of Wave, was all Naruto said as he activated his fire element, getting into his burning fist style. Fire champion, eh? One of the ninjas said, not impressed. I am missing ninja of Cloud, and I was a jounin when I left. Your point, Naruto replied calmly. My point? My point is that you have no chance against me, little brat, the ninja said, tossing his kunai at Naruto, and then began hand seals. The kunai sped towards Naruto, but he raised his burning hand, and when the kunai met, it melted and landed as a dull-pointed kunai. Some of the Cloud ninjas saw this and were thinking twice about attacking. The ninja finished his hand seals. Lightning bolt, and a bolt of yellow lightning shot from the man's hand and right at Naruto. He simply sidestepped the attack and replied casually. Too slow. Why you stall him, men? I will finish him with the next move. The ninja said, beginning another set of hand seals. The men charged Naruto with kunai drawn. Naruto extended one arm farther than the other, and his left foot forward slightly. When the Cloud ninja were 5 feet from Naruto, he exploded towards them. Naruto struck each ninja and they were sent backwards. The spot they had been hit in was burning, their clothes catching fire and burning them. They got back up slowly and charged again. Naruto fought through them with his self-taught style, ducking under punches and taking hits in order to land a hit. In a minute all of the ninja were down except for the lead one. He finished his jutsu and laughed manically. Thunderstorm and the clouds gathered rather quickly and a huge lightning bolt sped towards Naruto. The bolt hit and dust was kicked up. When it cleared, the ninja was shocked. There before him stood a wall of earth which had absorbed most of the strike. Next to Naruto was a man wearing a new outfit. The ninja turned to leave but was met with river of water that sent him flying back into a tree unconscious. Man, Naruto, there was only one guy left. You keep getting here before us, Ino whined. Yes, Naruto, your strength has leaped compared to the rest of us, Lee said. Lee had decided to get a new look but still wanted to wear the green jumpsuit in honor of Guy. Naruto suggested adding something to it to make it look better and change the hair. He cut his hair shorter, and now it was slightly spiked. And while he was looking for a new look, he came upon a dead bear, which he decided to use. He made brown leather arm guards and shin guards. They both had fur from them that gave Lee a wild look. Around his chest he wore the bear's head that was also a form of armor. Overall, Lee looked like a jungle man rather a ninja. Naruto now wore a red ninja suit with black armor plates. Shin guards, arm guards. Ino was wearing a white ninja suit with light blue armor plates. Naruto had also made a new rule. Any ninja of Wave was to wear a dark blue cape. It gave them a look of power and would be their trademark thing. Ah well, maybe next time, Naruto said, smiling. And I didn't even get to do anything, Vulcan said as he flew up to Naruto's shoulder. That's because you are too slow, Naruto said. Maybe, if I didn't have to do the observing crap, I would get some action. Well, I think I am going to pay a visit to Konoha with Vulcan here, Naruto said. Can I come? Ino asked. I guess, Lee, do you want to come as well? No thank you, I would like to stay and train. Besides, we need a powerful warrior to stay in case of an attack, Lee said, not shouting. Well, I guess you are right then. Would you mind telling everyone, and could my team train with you until I get back? Naruto asked. No problem, my friend. Well then, Lee, we will see you in about a week. We got some people to visit, Ino said, grabbing Naruto's arm and taking to the trees. Lee just waved before sprinting back to the village. Way to Konoha. So Naruto, what level gravity seals are you up to now? Ino asked. Well, I am already at level 5. I think Lee said he was up to 4, anymore, and he could not handle the stress. I can because of Kyuubi's chakra. Got a point there. So what level are you up to? 3 or 4 yet? I am only on 3, I am falling behind you two, Ino said, sort of disappointed. Don't worry, me and Lee are special cases, besides us you are the strongest, well maybe not Kyuubi and all, Naruto said in a cheerful voice. Don't worry, soon I am going to be able to beat you by myself. We will see. 2 days later in Konoha. Naruto and Ino landed on a tree limb right on the edge of the forest surrounding Konoha. Should we take the formal approach or the stealth one? Ino asked, not caring either way. I say we take the stealthy one and embarrass all the ninja, Naruto said, thinking of all the pranks he could pull on them. No, let's take the formal approach. We don't want Tsunade getting mad at you and breaking some of your bones, Ino said, grabbing Naruto by the collar and jumping with him to the main road so they could pass through the main gate. They were now walking to the village slowly. Hey Ino, some Anbu are coming, can I? No, Naruto. Damn it. A couple of Chunins were on guard duty, but as they were getting ready to stop them, Naruto and Ino but 5 Anbu jumped down in front of the Chunins. Why are you here? We are visiting family, Ino replied happily. The Anbu didn't like that answer, so he asked something else. What business do you have in Konoha? Naruto couldn't resist. We are visiting family, he said slowly. The Anbu became frustrated and began to reach for his sword, but Ibiki came through the gate. It seems our Anbu do not recognize a former shinobi of Konoha, head brat, Ibiki said in his deep voice. Hey Ibiki, how have you been? Ino said, smiling. So what brings you brats back to Konoha? I thought you were off making your own village and stuff. We did. Look at the cool new forehead protectors, Naruto said as he pointed to his head. Well thanks, now you just made some more work for me. I got to add something to the bingo book? Yeah brats, so what brings you to Konoha? Visiting, and coming for the Chunin exams, Naruto replied. An Anbu stepped forward. You demon are not allowed back into this village. The next thing the Anbu knew was Naruto was standing in front of him with a kunai at his throat and another to his stomach. Hey, you got faster, Ibiki said, smiling. Yeah, and the Anbu have gotten more pathetic. Well, before any trouble starts, go ahead and visit or whatever you had planned, just don't make any trouble, Ibiki said, dismissing them and turning to the Anbu, who made an outburst. 10 minutes later. Tsunade was at her desk doing the dreadful paperwork. Man, I wish Naruto was still here, at least he gave me something to do and added a little excitement, Tsunade said, taking out some sake to drink. I wonder what he is doing. Just then a figure jumped in through the window. Tsunade turned her head. Hey Tsunade, Jiraiya said as he took a seat next across from Tsunade, and she handed him a cup of sake. Oh, it's just you. Good to see you too, Jiraiya joked back. So have you found out anything about Naruto's village? I am afraid not. Every time I cross the bridge they are always waiting on the other side, and I am forced to turn back. Well, that gives them an advantage, Tsunade said, leaning back. Yes, very effective, but I tried walking on water and there was always a fox staring at me. Then less than a minute or two, a ninja appeared with another fox. Wow, they have great alerts set up then. They probably have the greatest defense of any village. Yes, but I am not a Sannin for nothing. Oh yeah, what did you do? Tsunade asked, intrigued. Simple shadow clone, Jiraiya said, smiling widely. So what did you find out? Well, compared to their village defense, their sensors are trash. Tsunade spit out her sake, which just happened to be all over Jiraiya. Well, the foxes are apparently inhabiting the island, so they would be tough to get through if they attacked. Next, their wall is as tall as ours but thicker. It has wooden spikes around the base and near the top. It gets better, the wall is infused with chakra and when activated the spikes will lengthen or shoot out. Amazing. Anything else? No, I had to go because I think Naruto saw me, but I got out of there before he could find me. Not exactly pervy sage, Naruto said as he and Ino jumped through the window. Naruto found himself in Tsunade's arms in a bone-crushing hug. Ow, Granny Tsunade, you still have some strength in your old form, Naruto said as he ducked under a couple of punches. Hello Ino, sorry but I just missed Naruto, Tsunade replied, sitting back down. So what brings you two to Konoha? Jiraiya asked. Well, we can't come and visit, pervy sage, Naruto said, smiling as Jiraiya twitched from Naruto's nickname. Well, I guess you can, but what were you saying about you seeing Jiraiya? Tsunade asked. Oh that, well, Kyuubi felt you power before you even crossed underneath the bridge, which by the way is a smart idea. Well, you did fool the foxes, but not Kyuubi or us. How is that? Jiraiya said. We have something else that you didn't mention. That is how we knew, Naruto replied. What, another type of sensor or defense? Tsunade asked. Kind of, But I am not disclosing that information, Naruto said, smiling. I think you are bluffing. If we were bluffing, then how did you not encounter one of the 100 foxes that roamed the forest on your way out? How is it that if I saw you, you outran me, especially since you are older? You still think you are better than me, brat? Jiraiya said, getting into Naruto's face. Of course I do, old man, Naruto shot back. Both of you outside before anything happens to my office, Tsunade said in a commanding voice. Naruto and Jiraiya quickly calmed down and exited the room, with Naruto calling Training Ground 59, and then Naruto and Jiraiya took off in a race to see who was faster. Training Area 59, I have never heard of that one. Where is it? Ino asked. Far on the border of Fire Country, very isolated. I guess they don't want anyone to know his power? Yeah, Naruto still shows off a lot but always has something up his sleeve. Tsunade smiled and looked at Ino as they began to follow at a slower pace. So how is Naruto? Training Area 59. Tsunade and Ino arrived to see Naruto in a headlock from Jiraiya. Looks like I still win, brat, Jiraiya said, teasing Naruto. Oh, you want to spar? I bet me and Ino could beat you two old people. This of course earned him a punch from Tsunade. I will take that fight, Naruto, and Jiraiya accepts as well, Tsunade said as she took off her green jacket. Naruto and Ino both took off their deep blue capes as well. Jiraiya just stretched. You two geezers are going down, Naruto taunted. You know, Jiraiya, I think we just go and beat up Naruto, Tsunade said, cracking her knuckles. We will see, Granny, Naruto called. Everyone got into their respective stances. Naruto and Ino were not using their elemental styles yet, saving a trump card. A leaf hit the ground and everyone disappeared. Naruto was in a strength match against Jiraiya and Ino was dodging hits from Tsunade. Hey brat, you have a lot more strength than last time. Really? Well, I guess I got better or you got worse. Jiraiya jumped back while blurring through some hand seals. Earth Dragon Naruto created a shadow clone and switched places with his clone, avoiding the dragon. Naruto then went on the offensive by creating 20 clones and charging Jiraiya. Tsunade was having trouble hitting Ino, but Ino had yet to lay a strike on Tsunade. Ino, I don't think that you two will win by doing that all day. We will see, Tsunade, Ino said, drawing a kunai. Tsunade attempted a fist to Ino's face, but she bent backwards and sliced Tsunade's wrist. Tsunade then brought her other arm down and created a large fissure in the ground, forcing Ino to jump backwards. This left Tsunade time to heal the wound on her arm. Jiraiya had just dispersed Naruto's clones and faced the last Naruto. Wow, took you longer than I thought it would, pervy sage. Well, brat, you have gotten better, meaning your clones are better, still nowhere near as good as me though. Oh yeah? Hey Ino, want to step it up a notch? Naruto called. I would love to, then I could actually do some damage. Naruto and Ino both jumped back next to each other. They dropped their weights and got into their elemental stance. Jiraiya and Tsunade also were next to each other, waiting for the surprise. Naruto and Ino looked at each other and smiled, then looked back to the two Sannin. They both charged. Jiraiya and Tsunade got into a defensive stance. First elemental strike, magma strike / river strike. Naruto and Ino's hands were encased in their respective element, and they punched the ground where Jiraiya and Tsunade were standing. The two Sannin were amazed. Where their punches landed was a molten, magma-charged pit and a pond of spinning water. Wow, was all they said. Surprised, old people? Naruto called. Yeah, brat, that was a lot of damage there. Well, you two haven't seen anything yet, Ino said, charging them while Naruto aimed an imaginary bow. Burning arrows, Naruto called as they shot forth from his hands, speeding towards the Sannin. They split, going a different way. Tsunade circled to the left, going for Naruto, while Jiraiya did the same, only to the right. Ino appeared in front of Jiraiya and smashed a water-enhanced fist into his stomach, forcing him back. You are my opponent now, Jiraiya, Ino said, lengthening her water into her blades. Heh, you haven't seen anything yet, Jiraiya said, charging Ino and engaging in a taijutsu fight. Naruto was also fighting Tsunade in taijutsu. Naruto struck a blow to her chest, forcing her back and singeing part of her clothes. Tsunade retaliated by jumping up and attempting an axe kick that Naruto dodged. Naruto forgot and jumped backwards, only to be caught in the fissure. Got you, brat, Tsunade said, walking to where Naruto fell in. A blast of flame came forth from the fissure and Naruto crawled out, this time completely engulfed in fire. Still got that strength, Tsunade, but won't do any good if you can't hit me. Naruto taunted. Hey Jiraiya, I think it's about time we bring out the bosses. Tsunade called. Really, against these shrimp? Well, guess it can't be helped. Jiraiya and Tsunade both jumped back far away from the two. Summoning jutsu. When the smoke cleared, there stood Gamabunta and Katsuya. Jiraiya, what is it now? Just sparring against Naruto, and I got you first, so I win, Naruto, Jiraiya called from atop Gamabunta. Well, Ino, I guess we show them our summons, Naruto said, smiling. Yes, I haven't seen Levi in a while. Ino squealed. Summoning jutsu. This time there was 2 clouds of smoke that were larger than Gamabunta and Katsuya. Jiraiya and Tsunade paled. Before them stood Kyuubi with his 9 tails swinging madly. He smiled, showing off his razor-sharp fangs. Ino was atop a large leviathan. It was longer than Manda and had arms and feet with claws on it. From his nose were 2 nostrils that were blaring steam. He was covered in light blue scales and had a dorsal fin that stretched to his tail. Think Shinran from DBZ, the Eternal Dragon, just blue instead. Kyuubi looked over. Levi, I haven't seen you in a couple thousand years, how have you been? I am great, nothing has really happened since our duel. Levi then looked at Gamabunta and Katsuya. What do I owe the pleasure, Gamabunta and Katsuya? Nothing, our summoners are just having a sparring match, and even though I don't want to admit it, I think that you two win this round. Gamabunta said, smoking his pipe. Kyuubi smiled. Yeah, besides we don't want to start a war just from our little sparring match. Well then, Ino, I am going to return to my slumber. Goodbye Kyuubi, Gamabunta, Katsuya, Levi said, bowing as he looked at each summon before disappearing along with the others. Well, I think that ties it at 1-1, Tsunade said. What, we won the summon round and nobody won the first round, Naruto screamed out. Well then let's make it fair and go into one final attack then, Jiraiya said as he began forming the Rasengan. Fine then, Ino said as she and Naruto both began forming Rasengans. Tsunade and Jiraiya was amazed at Ino being able to use this technique as well. Well, from the look on your faces you two are surprised at me doing a Rasengan. Ino taunted again. Well, you haven't seen anything, Naruto said as he brought his other hand to the Rasengan and began adding the fire element. The Rasengan turned a fire red and then became engulfed in a flame. The burning flames then thinned out into a disk of fire. Think Saturn, the heat coming off from the flaming orb began to burn the grass and entire area around Naruto for 15 feet. Ino's Rasengan thinned out completely, making it a disk of cutting water. Jiraiya stared at their accomplishment. Wow, brat, how strong is that compared to the regular Rasengan? Well, Kyuubi said about 15x as destructive, Naruto said, smiling. Well, in that case I do not want to go up against that, so I guess you brats win, Jiraiya said, cutting off the flow of chakra to his palm. Well, I guess we brats have just beat the 2 Sannin, Naruto said as he gathered his and Ino's weights and capes and brought them over to the rest of them. Well, I don't want to disgrace you 2 old people, but we had one more trick up our sleeves. Naruto began. We, as well as Lee, wear gravity seals that affect gravity's effect on us. Naruto is at 5x, Lee at 4x, and I am at 3x, Ino said proudly. I was wondering why I was moving faster than you, brat. You were pretty quick before you left, but today was just slow, Jiraiya said, assuming a thinking position. So I am guessing, but I don't think that you two came here just to visit? Tsunade said, getting to the point. Well, we had 3 things. 1, to test our power. 2, to sign up for the Chunin exams. If I am correct, they are being held here again since last year they were disturbed? Yes, that is true. Besides, everyone would rather have it in an enemy's village than theirs. Got a point there, but anyway, number 3 is to find out who my parents were, Naruto said, smiling evilly at Jiraiya. Well, I can assure you that you will be able to attend the Chunin exams, but I have one question. Who is going to be your Jounin sensei? Tsunade asked. Why, Kyuubi, of course, Ino replied as if it was obvious. What, you are going to let him out and roam about? He is as big as the village. No, not in that form. Here, let me show you summoning jutsu. The puff of smoke erupted and there stood Kyuubi in his human form, leaning on his cane with one hand behind his back. How are you, Jiraiya and Tsunade? Kyuubi said, smiling through his many sharp teeth. I am glad I am seeing this myself, because I would never have believed it, Tsunade said with wide eyes. Well, here I am, and I think I am going to stay out for a while, don't worry, I don't bite. The small group began walking back to the Hokage Tower. Don't worry, he is a summon, Naruto can dismiss him whenever, so he has complete control. Ino reassured the 2 startled Sannin. Well, come back to the office, I have the papers there for you. Oh, and who is going to be your 3rd partner? Oh, Lee, he has the elemental gift of earth, so combine that with his speed and strength, and wow, he is unstoppable pretty much in taijutsu. Hell, I should just promote you, no, I doubt anyone is going to be able to beat you guys, Tsunade said. Well, we gotta do that and gain reputation as well. Yeah, so what are you kids trying to gain? Reputation and strength to become on par with the other nations? Jiraiya said in a cheerful voice that had a hint of teasing to it. Yep, we will be stronger than you guys pretty soon, Ino stated. Tsunade smirked. Oh really? I will have you know that we are the strongest ninja village. Yeah, we know that, we could probably take on grass right now, Naruto shot back, surprising the other 2. And how is that? Well, as you 2 old people saw, me and Ino are about Sannin strength, plus Lee, so the 3 of us could take on an army. Besides that, we have the other rookie 9. Naruto said proudly. So are you sure that you could take on a whole village though? Jiraiya asked, wanting to hear a true answer. Well, not right now, but we will be able to. Me and Lee have already taken on a Genin team. Naruto chuckled. Well, they are genin, but are high chunin level in strength. Tsunade and Jiraiya both gasped. How is that possible? How old are they? Tsunade said, flustered. Same age as when they start in the leaf, 12. Wow, you have some strong ninja, Jiraiya said, then turned to Tsunade. Hey, we have to get prepared for them soon. I guess we have to watch out for the brats, Tsunade said as they arrived at the Hokage's tower and entered. Hokage's tower. Everyone had gone into the office. Tsunade went behind her desk. Jiraiya stood behind her as he placed a sound barrier on the room. Naruto and Ino took the 2 chairs. So here are your papers for the Chunin exams. Fill them out and bring them back when it starts. It begins in about 2 months. You know the exact date, right? Because I don't, Tsunade said, laughing at the end. Wow, some Hokage you are, Granny, Naruto said, and then ducked a punch from Tsunade. So what else did you want to know, brat? Who my parents were? I mean, one of you two has to know, and don't give me any crap, I want the truth, Naruto stated in a serious voice. Tsunade eyed Jiraiya as he started at Naruto, who was returning the look. Jiraiya then nodded slowly. Tsunade reached inside her desk and withdrew a key. She stood up and followed Jiraiya to the faces of the Hokages on the wall. Naruto was trembling for the truth. Ino saw this and put her hand on top of his, which instantly calmed him down. Jiraiya withdrew the picture of the 4th and set it on the desk. Behind the picture was nothing out of the ordinary, just a green wall. Jiraiya then bit his thumb and smeared it on the wall. A large, very intricate seal appeared which covered the whole wall. Jiraiya's blood sank into the seal and it all turned red. A door about 3 foot tall and 3 foot wide appeared from the wall. It opened and revealed a safe. Tsunade walked over and opened it using the key. The safe opened and Tsunade brought out 3 scrolls and a folded white piece of clothing. She put them down on her desk and handed him a scroll with the number 1 on it. Naruto looked at it and then opened it. Dear Naruto, I am truly sorry for the burden I have placed on you. You were born on the same day the Kyuubi attacked and thus were the ideal vessel. I know this because you have my blood flowing through you. I know that this is no burden that should be placed on any child, but it saves the village that I swore to protect. I have told Sarutobi that you are to be a hero, but I fear the villagers will not see you as one. My greatest regret, though, is that you will be forced to grow up without any parents. I will have died from sealing the Kyuubi into you. Your mother was the most beautiful woman I have ever laid eyes on. She was a traveler from the West. Her name was Maria. She had no last name. She died giving birth to you. She cried when she held you, knowing that there was complications and she would pass on. She cried though for seeing you, not for impending death. We both miss you, son, even in the afterlife. Grow up to be a strong warrior and protect the ones you love. That is where true strength comes from, the desire to protect. On the other 2 scrolls are my signature techniques. The yellow scroll contains the Flying Thunder God, the skill that gave me my name. Also it contains directions on the seal needed for the special kunai. The other is the Rasengan. I also taught this to the pervy sage. You will know him when you see him. The Rasengan, though, is an unfinished technique. I was currently trying to add an element to it, thus creating an even stronger attack. Unfortunately, I ran out of time. I hope that you can perfect this technique and make me proud. Use these well, and live on, my son. Remember, protect those closest to you with all your strength. Love. Kazama, Arashir, the Yondaime Hokage of Konoha. P.S. I have also left for you one of my capes. It looks so cool, make me even prouder by wearing it. There was also a doodle of the Yondaime with a victory sign. Naruto looked up to see a smiling Jiraiya and Tsunade. Naruto was crying silently. Ino gave him a hug, which he returned, and he stayed like this for a minute before looking back up. So you two knew? Naruto asked. Yes, but he told us not to tell you until you asked. I swear this, Naruto, Jiraiya said in a serious voice. Naruto eyed him, looking for any signs of lies before smiling. Well, I am glad that I had you as a teacher, Jiraiya, just like my old man. Yes, and I have to admit that you are an even stronger warrior than your father was at your age. You will no doubt surpass him, Jiraiya said back. I hope so. I will have a name as well then. Yes, and if you can do the Flying Thunder God, you will be feared by all the nations and most likely Wave will become the 6th great ninja nation, Tsunade said. I know he will, Ino said, leaning up against Naruto. Are you two planning on staying the night? No thanks, we are going back to Wave, Ino said, declining their offer. Naruto, I would like to talk to you in private, Jiraiya said as he walked around the desk. Naruto stood up and followed him out of the room. They both took off to the Hokage's monument. So what is it, pervy sage? Are you ever going to call me Jiraiya? Sometimes, but I like pervy sage better. Jiraiya groaned. I'll get to the point. I have information that Orochimaru has amassed an army. This makes us believe that Orochimaru is planning on attacking Konoha again during the exams. If they do, will you help? Naruto closed his eyes and thought about it. He then spoke with his eyes closed. Jiraiya, I left this village because of how they treated me for everything I did. In my opinion, I would not help the villagers at all, but seeing as most of my comrades would, I guess you have an alliance. Just keep it completely secret. We will wait till the day of the invasion, if it ever comes. Thank you, Naruto. If Orochimaru was to attack again, I doubt that me and Tsunade could beat any two Kage. I mean, we would stand a chance, but we would have to summon the death god. Either way, we lose, Jiraiya replied calmly. Don't worry, I still have a couple months. By that time I will be stronger and stop Orochimaru when he enters the village. Do not forget about Lee and Ino. I definitely will not. She is just like Tsunade. They chuckled. I believe it would be during the third exam. That is when he has the most time to do anything, and our ninja would be amassed in the stadium. You take care of things just like last time. Me and Wave will defeat any ninja running around the village. I will not have my ninja come until a day before the third exam, okay? Thank you, Naruto. Oh, and don't tell anyone else though, and do not depend on us. We will try to make it here, but if something comes up. I know the situation, Brad. I have been around for a while. I'll probably be here the whole month in between. My ninja won't come till after. Of course, there is no need for them to be here. Besides, it is a trick we have that Orochimaru knows nothing about. Then for once we would have something against that damn snake. Naruto said, smiling and then turning to look out over the village. Naruto, to tell you the truth, I am extremely surprised that you came back here so soon. I mean, it had only been 3 months since you left, and look at how strong you have become. Yeah, although I don't really miss it, right now I miss my friends back at Wave. What, me and the old hag aren't good company? Jiraiya joked. No, I still think of Tsunade as my mother, and you're the crazy drunk uncle. Naruto burst out laughing when he finished. Jiraiya smiled. Well, Brad, I think you had better go save Ino before she turns out too much like Tsunade, Jiraiya said as he began the short run back to the Hokage's office. Hokage's office. So, Brat, we will see you in about 3 months? Tsunade said. Yep, see you later, Granny, you two pervy sage. Unfortunately for Naruto, he forgot about Tsunade's temper when he insults her age and failed to notice the desk flying through the air that hit him in the head and knocked him into the wall. Got why, Brat, Tsunade screamed, jumping up from her desk and pumping a fist in the air. Damn, Granny, Naruto mumbled as he held the back of his head as he rushed out of the room. He came back in a second alter and grabbed his father's cape. This time he dodged a sake bottle. The months had passed and Naruto, Ino and Lee have been training the entire time, waiting for the Chunin exams. They had all progressed more in their elements and fighting styles. Lee began training with Kyuubi and now can open 7 of the celestial gates. Ino can summon water from deep underground in less than 20 seconds. She has also mastered the Rasengan and has created a version of her own. It is not as strong as Naruto's, but a little bit stronger than the regular Rasengan. Naruto had mastered the Flying Thunder God with the help of Kyuubi. He also had his clones help him for a day and not help around the city. So that helped a lot. Now Naruto, Lee, Ino, Kyuubi and Vulcan were getting ready to leave to Konoha for the exams. Naruto was talking with Neji before he left. Hey Neji. Naruto, how are you? I'm good, but let me get to the point. Naruto began to talk with a serious tone. What's the matter? Ino got you on a schedule now, Neji said jokingly. Yeah, but I could say the same for you and Tenten, Naruto replied slyly. Neji blushed. Well, what was it you were saying? Naruto chuckled before continuing. That damn snake bastard Orochimaru is going to attack Konoha again. Jiraiya has said that it will be during the third exam like last time. I am going to try and take care of that bastard when he attacks. Lightning and Rock will also be going to this exam. They are only sending one team into the exam. Thus they will probably be joining Orochimaru in the attack. They will most likely be destroyed then. I know that Leaf is the strongest nation, but against 3 they will not stand a chance. Exactly why you are here. You will lead an attack as well. Bring the best that you have here. Train them as much as you can. The attack is only 1 month away. Will we be that much help? I mean, some of us are stronger than most Jounin, but what good will that do against an army? Especially against an army of 3 other nations. That is true, but we have an ally that they will never expect. Neji looked puzzled for a moment, thinking of their possible allies before smiling. The foxes? Neji said. Exactly, I have already spoken with Hector, and he is excited to help. They are? Yes, he said that there hasn't been any real action in a very long time for them. So most want to help. The foxes are also extremely against snakes. He is also planning on opening up another portal because more foxes wish to come to this forest. They think it's great here, so the more the merrier. Well, I'd be sure to have everyone ready. I am counting on you, Niji, don't let me down. I won't, but Naruto, I have one question. Yeah, what is that? Who will be guarding the village? Naruto smiled and began to walk off. Orion is staying behind as well as some of the female and younger foxes, but do not forget our seals and the new generation. They will be able to hold off an attack until we return. If worst comes to worst, I can always summon Kyuubi and get a quick ride back. That you can. Sorry Niji, but I got to go. Well, get going, Naruto, Niji said as he walked off to begin preparations and training everyone. Main gates an hour later. Naruto, Ino, Lee, Vulcan, and Kyuubi were all standing opposite the rest of the villagers. Well everyone, we got a Chunin exam to win, Naruto said with a huge grin that earned him cheers from everyone. There were various shouts of good luck as well as more cheers. Oh, and don't forget to wear your capes, everyone, Naruto called back. Some of the little kids began running around with theirs on. The two Genin teams all smiled proudly, displaying their capes as well as most of the villagers. Well, we got to go, see you later everyone, Naruto said as they turned and left waving. So Naruto, how long till we get there? Man, already, Lee? Ino whined. About a day if we keep this pace, which isn't a problem. Yeah, I will get to see Gai-sensei, Lee cheered. Yeah, we will get to see everyone, Naruto said smirking. The three Chunin hopefuls jumped off into the trees after crossing the bridge. 2 dark blue capes and 1 oddball, the Yondame's cape. Konoha gates next day. Naruto, Ino and Lee arrived at the gates with Kyuubi on Ino's shoulder and Vulcan on Naruto's. They walked up to the gates and they were greeted some Anbu who eyed the two creatures suspiciously, especially Kyuubi, before letting them pass. Naruto decided to put his wave cape back on and not the Yondame's, and also have Kyuubi return to his cage to not cause any trouble. Hey Ino, Naruto whispered. What, Naruto? Ino spoke with a normal tone. Can I? No, save it for the exam, Ino said with a strict tone. Naruto whispered to Lee. She never lets me mess with the Anbu. Lee smiled and was about to respond but suddenly felt the killer intent of Ino, which caused them both to stop and act serious. After they were through the gates, having showed their papers, they headed to the Hokage's tower. On the way there they passed many villagers who recognized Naruto and still sent him evil glares, but they shrugged them off. They ignored the villagers completely. Naruto stopped walking and Lee quickly followed, but Ino missed it and ran into Naruto, who never budged and kept looking straight. In front of them was the team from Rock. It consisted of 2 boys and a girl. The first boy was standing in front staring Naruto down angrily. The second boy was looking at Lee while the girl was peeking around the second boy. They all wore a simple brown outfit with kunai and shuriken pouches on various spots. Wave? Is that even a country? How is it that you weaklings even made it to the exams? The first boy said. Let's just say that we have connections. Ino chimed, trying to avoid a conflict. What are you 2 men scared so much that the girl has to talk for you? The second boy said. No, I just do it because I can. Ino shot back. Well, you 3 should know that this exam isn't a walk in the park. You 3 will wind up getting killed. Same goes for you, Lee replied. I don't think that you guys are even worth fighting. I want to beat you 3 to a pulp in the forest. It will be so easy. Well, we shall see. Naruto finally said something and began walking past them, followed shortly by Ino, Lee and Vulcan. Oh, and I'll be sure to have some fun with you, Blondie, the rock ninja said, making a pose towards Ino. Anyone in the surrounding area felt a small but strong burst of energy. Lee quickly stepped in front of Naruto and was looking right at him. Ino looked at Naruto and then to the rock ninjas. Lee began walking off with a very pissed off Naruto. Just so you know, you are extremely lucky that Lee made the first move and not Naruto. If Naruto did, you would be dead right now, Ino growled out in a voice full of anger. The rock ninja were a little scared from the burst of energy, as well as Ino's threat, because it was obvious that she wasn't bluffing from the way she was smirking and not even the slightest afraid of them. Hokage's tower. Ino had caught up to Naruto and Lee, who were walking up the stairs to see Tsunade. Okay Lee, I think that you can put your seals back on. Naruto is calm again, isn't that right? Ino said as she jumped onto his back and put her arms around his neck. Naruto let out a huge sigh and then smiled. He turned to Lee. Thanks Lee, if you had not have beat me to the punch I would have probably killed him. Anytime Naruto, we are here to help you, just as you help us. Lee said calmly. Well, shall we go see the granny? Naruto said excited and began to run up the stairs with Ino still on his back, who held on tighter from the running. Lee followed smiling. Tsunade's office. Naruto walked into the office and immediately screamed. Hey Grandnymph, and Naruto exploded into smoke from the result of a thrown desk. Naruto, Lee and Ino walked into the room. Naruto was wearing a huge smile. Hi Granny, how are you? Naruto said, and apparently forgot that even though he made it inside the room he was still within Tsunade's range. Naruto crashed through a wall from Tsunade's hit. Ino lowered her head. He never learns. Lee was checking on Naruto because he had not gotten up yet. So are you ready for the exams? Tsunade asked, sitting down in her chair. Yeah, we have been training more and we can't wait. The exams should be really easy unless there is a written one. Then Lee and Naruto might have some trouble. I really hope there isn't, Lee said as he sat down after setting Naruto down as well. Yeah, last time I never even answered a single one. Tsunade spit out her drink and began chuckling. Man, you are just like Jiraiya, brat. How, I am not like that pervert, Naruto screamed, which caused Tsunade to laugh even harder, and Ino and Lee to join in. It was at this moment that Jiraiya entered through the window, which caused them to laugh even harder. What did I do? Jiraiya asked, puzzled. Naruto crossed his arms and looked away. Granny Tsunade said that I am like you and that we suck at written tests. What? Tsunade, you had to cheat off of Orochimaru, and you almost raised your hand to quit. I was the one that stopped you, Jiraiya said, pissed off. Ha, pervy sage, I guess we are alike. I did the same thing with Sakura, Naruto said as he began to laugh. Jiraiya knew it was no use and let it go and waited for everyone to stop laughing before he started talking. Well, the exams start tomorrow morning. I hope you guys make it. It would be very sad that 2 Genin who beat 2 Sannin didn't make it in the Chunin exams, Jiraiya said. What, you never told me that you fought Jiraiya-sama and Tsunade-sama, Lee exclaimed. Oh yeah, kind of forgot that, huh? Naruto said, scratching his head. Then I must prove myself stronger by defeating my sensei, Lee said and sped off out of the room. Well, I must say that the look is so much better than before, but he still acts the same, Tsunade said, sighing. Yeah, well, I'm going to go watch this fight. It's going to be a great taijutsu match, Naruto said as he hurried off to follow Lee. The rest quickly followed. Lee was quickly searching through Konoha trying to find Guy. He stopped and smacked himself upside the head. He must be at the training ground. Training ground 24651, does it really matter? Guy was smashing away at a boulder when Jiraiya, Naruto, Ino, and Tsunade arrived on the scene. Guy? Tsunade asked. Guy didn't sense them until Tsunade spoke and turned around quickly and stood at attention. Hokage-sama, what have I done to grace myself with your presence? Guy said, almost shouting. Guy almost fell over when he saw Naruto. Naruto! You look just like the Yondaime! Guy screamed. Yeah, thanks, Guy. It turns out that he was my father. Nothing. Has Lee come by yet? Jiraiya asked. Lee is here? Where is he? Guy started shouting. He was supposed to be here and challenge you to a taijutsu fight, Jiraiya pointed out. Well, I have not seen him yet, but I will go and look for him. Guy started to sprint off but was stopped in his tracks by Tsunade, who grabbed him by his collar and stopped him from running. If you leave, he will never show up, just wait here, Tsunade said, setting him down. Hey brat, let me out, I want to witness this in real life. Fine, Naruto said out of nowhere, which caused Jiraiya and Tsunade to look over at him like he was crazy. Ino knew that he was just talking to the Kyuubi. Naruto, what are you doing? Jiraiya asked, confused. Naruto smiled back at them. Letting Kyuubi out as he finished, he began the seals for the summoning. Jiraiya and Tsunade were utterly confused and started towards Naruto. Ino simply stepped in front of them, smiling. Hokage-sama, Jiraiya-sama, just wait, Ino said kindly. As soon as Ino finished, Naruto yelled out. Summoning jutsu. After the smoke cleared, there stood Kyuubi in his human form. Greetings, Jiraiya and Tsunade. Do not worry, I have no trouble with you. Let us just watch the marvelous fight, Kyuubi said as he turned towards Guy. Finally, Lee made it to the training area and began talking with Guy about youth. Well, are you going to fight? Naruto yelled. Oh yes, come Lee, we must test our strength. Yes, Guy-sensei, Lee screamed back. Guy got into the Iron Fist stance and waited for Lee to assume his stance. Lee got into the Iron Fist stance as well, which caused Naruto, Ino, and Kyuubi to smile. They both took off at a blur. They each met halfway, holding a fist and throwing one as well, which ended as a stalemate for the both of them. Lee jumped back and charged. Guy shifted his weight a little to his back foot so he could counter as well as dodge easier. Guy charged and swung his left leg around, but was met with Lee's leg in the same move but opposite. Guy sank to the ground and swung his other leg around, but was also met with Lee's leg. Lee aimed a right hook, which Guy ducked under and threw a knee towards Lee's face. Lee caught the knee with his other hand and pushed off, separating them again and assuming the beginning stance. This continued for a few minutes with the two taijutsu masters meeting in stalemates. Lee, we are at a tie because we both know the style so well. I agree, Guy-sensei. Lee, I am going to use my original style that I have shown no one, Guy said as he began shifting. He now stood with his left foot forward and his right foot back and pointed to the side. His left arm was also forward and his right arm back. He looked as if he was squeezing through a tight place. This, Lee, is my double-sided stance. The bystanders were excited for seeing a new stance. Although the wave inhabitants knew that Lee had an ace up his sleeve as well. Then Guy-sensei, it is time to show you my personal style as well, Lee said. Lee shifted his right leg forward and left back. He titled his body forward slightly, and had his right hand extended a little further. Everyone except the wave ninja were confused because the stance looked like a basic academy style. Here comes the fun part, Naruto said, wearing his fox grin. Lee opened the palm of his right hand and the earth around his feet raised up about 2 inches. Guy gasped at what had just happened because he knew that Lee had no chakra, so this was not a jutsu. Guy-sensei, this is the earth elemental style, Lee said. Guy grinned and sped off towards Lee. Guy jumped and spun with his right leg. A wall of earth rose to stop the attack, but Guy's kick went right through it and Lee ducked under the kick and was about to retaliate with a punch when he was hit with Guy's other leg, sending Lee rolling backwards. The earth rose up and helped Lee stand before it settled back into the ground. Guy fell to the ground as a result of the double kick. I see, Guy-sensei, this style is based on hard to predict attacks that make you harm yourself as well, Lee said. You are correct, Lee, it is a purely offensive stance that is hard to fight back against, Guy said and took off again. A spear of rock rose from the ground and intercepted Guy in his charge. Guy jumped over it and came down again towards Lee. Lee charged in and swung at Guy, who blocked with his own fist and swung his leg around towards Lee's side. Earth once again rose up and stopped Guy's kick. Guy smiled. He shook loose Lee's grip and swung his other leg around next to his first kick. It smashed through the rock and forced Lee to jump backwards away from the attack, but Guy fell to the ground and quickly got back up. Lee flipped backwards to create some space between him and Guy. He put his hands together and concentrated for a moment before charging Guy, who was already charging Lee. Lee ran with his right hand near the floor. It was slowly gathering earth as he neared Guy. Both opponents jumped and threw their attacks towards each other. Lee's earth fist smashed through Guy's double punch and hit him in the chest. Guy swung his leg to Lee's arm and hit it in the elbow joint, making it bend and fall back from being extended. Lee and Guy began their charge again but were stopped by Tsunade in the middle of them, holding both of their attacks with her hands and not struggling. Wow, Granny is really strong, Naruto said and rubbed his head from where he always got hit. Yeah, tell me about, I have been hit more than you, Jiraiya said as he also rubbed his head. That is enough, you two, it seems that you are equal even with your new styles. And Lee has the exams tomorrow, so no reason to overdo it. Come back after the exams to finish the fight, Tsunade said and began walking away. Nice fight, Lee, Guy-sensei, Ino said. Thank you, Ino, Lee said as he and Guy walked over to them. Well, that was a great fight, you two pretty much are the best in normal taijutsu, Naruto said. Guy, not knowing their new powers, asked. What do you mean by normal taijutsu? Naruto and Ino turned and activated their elemental powers. Ino's extended to her water blades, stretching down her arm and sprouting out from her wrist. Naruto's hands became engulfed in a burning flame that created steam from the air around him. You see, Guy-sensei, we have the power of the elements, and are quite skilled with them, Lee added as he encased one of his hands in rock and the other in a cone of sand. Wow, that really is an edge over a normal taijutsu fight, Guy replied. Well, let me not keep you from your time here. Go and have fun, you three, and good luck in the exams, Guy said before he ran off to somewhere. So anyone up for some food? I'm buying, Naruto said as he grabbed Ino's hand as they began to walk back into the village. Kyubi reverted to his fox form and jumped up onto Ino's shoulder, and making a face towards Vulcan, who just smiled as only a phoenix could. I do, Jiraiya said as he jumped down from a tree. I thought you left with Granny Tsunade, Naruto said, eyeing Jiraiya. Naruto stopped walking when he felt Ino pull her hand away. Naruto looked back and was met with a fist from Tsunade. I told you not to call me that, Tsunade yelled. Lee and Ino grinned and kept walking into town. Eventually Naruto caught up to them, rubbing his head again. The group went to a barbecue place, and they all ate and exchanged stories. Jiraiya had the unpleasant honor of splitting the check at Tsunade's demand. After they were done eating, Jiraiya and Tsunade made their way back to the Hokage's tower to do some paperwork. Naruto decided it was time to put on his father's cape, and they made their way to the hotel they were staying at. Naruto was holding Ino's hand as Lee was on his other side. Naruto was loving the effect that the new cape had on all the villagers. Some of the ninja looked at him and finally put 2 and 2 together, and realized the reason that Naruto had the Kyubi sealed in him was because the Yondaime was his father, and couldn't ask any other parent to bear that burden. The villagers, however, were a different story. They jeered at him and cursed Naruto as he walked past. To them he was dishonoring the fallen Yondaime. Naruto was oblivious to their stares though as they kept walking through the village towards the hotel. I cannot wait, my companions, tomorrow is the beginning of the exams, I am so excited, Lee screamed. Never would have guessed, Lee, Ino said sarcastically, and Kyubi and Vulcan snickered. Hey brats. Yeah, what is it? Naruto said, looking at Kyubi. I sense 2 familiar chakra signatures coming this way. Well, who is it? Someone from Wave, Ino said, thinking of who it could be. No, let's just say it will be a fun meeting, Kyubi said as he smiled and waited for the newcomers. All three of the ninja heard the sound of Shuriken cutting the air. Naruto simply turned and grabbed them from the air, not even turning around. I told you it would be fun, Kyubi said, chuckling now. Well, if it isn't the losers who made their pathetic little village, Sasuke said as he landed in front of the wave ninja along with Sakura and Hanabi. Hey Sasuke, still a prick I see, Naruto said calmly. This is the guy that used to be a leaf ninja? The unknown ninja said to Sakura. Yeah, I'll bet that he hasn't even gotten any stronger since he decided to wimp out and leave. I'm surprised they let a weakling like you into the exams. By now Naruto was just itching for them to start something. Lee and Ino on the other hand were hoping to avoid a conflict till the exams. So loser, want to fight, Sasuke said. Nah, wouldn't want to kick your ass like last time, Naruto said, referring to the Valley of the End. Sasuke drew a kunai. That wouldn't be a good idea, Sasuke, Ino chimed. Shut up, you demon horse, Sasuke yelled as he charged Naruto. Naruto dropped into a simple stance and waited for the attack to reach him. Sasuke was close enough and he started to bring the kunai towards Naruto. Sasuke was sent flying back into Sakura, who caught him, and they both tumbled on the floor. The unknown ninja just looked at Sasuke and Sakura on the ground. Sasuke was among the strongest in all of Konoha and he had just been knocked back hard. He turned to the wave ninja to see Naruto had not moved. Instead it was Lee who was in front of Naruto with his right arm forward, showing that he had just delivered the punch to Sasuke and not Naruto. It would be best to not insult my teammates, Uchiha Lee said in an angry tone. Sasuke got back up and wiped the blood from his mouth. You think that a little punch is going to stop me? Yeah, that's what I was thinking, Naruto said, becoming carefree again. He started to walk again with Lee and Ino following him, and ignored Sasuke again. Where do you think you are going? I am not done with you, Sasuke yelled as he began to fly through some hand seals. Naruto stopped when he heard the chirping of birds. He pushed Lee and Ino behind him and turned to Sasuke. I don't think that it is wise to test me anymore, Uchiha, Naruto said, serious now. Shut up, Sasuke said as he charged. Naruto slipped into a stance again with one hand hidden behind his back that started to create the Rasengan. Jiraiya appeared and grabbed Sasuke's wrist with the Chidori. Attacking a visiting nation could bring about war. I don't care, let go of me, you fool, Sasuke said and brought his free hand towards Jiraiya. Jiraiya sighed and threw Sasuke into a wall again with only his arm. Try anything like that again, Uchiha, and I will see to it that you cannot participate in the exams, Jiraiya said. Jiraiya-sama, you cannot do that. He is an Uchiha and he must participate. He is in line to be the next Hokage, Sakura pleaded. Ha 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 ha, Sasuke, the next Hokage, Naruto said from the back and began laughing his head off. Ino smacked Naruto and led them towards the hotel, hoping that they would make it there without any more interruptions. Jiraiya threatened Sasuke again and left, leaving Sasuke and Sakura to themselves. Well, that was fun, wasn't it, Lee said. Not for me, I didn't get to hit him. Jiraiya just had to step in, Naruto complained. Oh, quiet, you will have plenty of choices in the exams, so just forget it, Ino said, just wanting to get to the hotel. In a tree a figure stood watching them as they walked by. Kyubi however sensed the person and alerted Naruto. After they had walked far enough away, Naruto spoke up with Kyubi and Vulcan on his shoulders. I'll meet up with you guys at the hotel, got to go discuss something with Tsunade, Naruto said and turned and left before they could try to stop him. Oh well, Ino, guess we can't stop him, Lee said and continued on with Ino to the hotel. The figure began to run as soon as she saw Naruto turn around. She had not gotten anywhere when Naruto flashed in front of the person. Hey, you are that girl from the rock team, Naruto said, inspecting her. She had brown hair and a pair of emerald earrings that matched an emerald necklace around her neck. She had a tan-colored shirt that was a little too big for her, and one sleeve was long while the other was short. Her pants were a darker brown, and she now had a dagger on her side. May I ask why you were spying on us and your name? Naruto said. The girl eyed Naruto for a few seconds before speaking up. My name is Ami and I just felt a strong power from you. Kyubi felt something a little off with the girl, so he whispered to Naruto to flare his power a little bit. Naruto did so and the girl saw this and flared hers as well as taking a defensive stance. I was right, Naruto, she contains the seven-tailed wolf, Kyubi said aloud. What, how did you know that? The girl stuttered out, afraid that she had been found out. I myself am a container, and if you didn't figure out, I have the damned fox Kyubi here sealed inside me, Naruto said, and Kyubi did a little pose. Well, I am glad to meet you, Naruto, Ami said and gave a slight bow. You are the first container that I have met that is friendly. You mean you have met more? Yes, the lightning team also has a Jinchuriki, the six-tailed, I believe. Well, that makes things a little complicated, Naruto said. What do you mean complicated? Ami asked. The invasion, if your side has two Jinchuriki, that puts you at an advantage, we only have one. How do you know of the invasion, and are you saying that you are going to help the Leaf? That is exactly what I am saying. However, if you decide to participate with the attack, then I will have no choice but to kill you, Naruto said fearfully. Well, Naruto, I don't want to really attack anyone innocent, but the Kage is making me and saying that if I don't that they will kill me. They already killed my parents because I wouldn't kill an innocent child. Well, sounds like your Kage was a bastard as well. But as you know, we aren't from Konoha, we are from Wave, a new village, my village. If you need somewhere to go, you could come and stay with us, you wouldn't be forced to do anything like that. Wait, you mean you are the leader? Ami asked. Yeah, I am the strongest one there, and it was my dream to become the Hokage, but they kicked me out, and now I am going to be the Namikage. Well, that sounds fun, and depending on how things turn out, I might just take you up on that offer if I survive. What do you mean if you survive? Naruto asked. Well, I overheard them speaking one day, and they said that they were going to kill me even if I succeeded because I was becoming strong enough to be a threat. Ami said in a sad way but remained happy and cheerful. Well, that's not going to happen. If you decide to join us, you will be under our protection. Thank you, Naruto. No problem, it's always good to have new additions. Naruto, though I would like to test your power because you do not look all that strong. Well, how about a demonstration, Naruto said and threw a kunai towards Ami, although it wasn't a normal kunai. Ami reacted quickly and slipped to the side and grabbed the kunai out of the air and began to throw it back. Naruto grinned evilly and there was a flash of yellow, and then Ami felt a blade at her throat and saw Naruto standing there. Ami, you have kind heart, and I do not wish to kill you, but if you participate you will be my enemy, Naruto said and took the special kunai from Ami's hand and turned away, leaving Ami frozen with fear and confusion. Fear from how fast Naruto just moved and confusion because she thought that the only man that could do that had died. Hotel. Naruto had just caught up to Lee and Ino as they were entering the hotel. So what did you do? Ino asked. Well, I just met a potential new ally. That girl from Rock, she is a Jinchuriki as well and isn't liking her village. So you told her she could stay with us? Lee asked. Absolutely, new allies are always wanted, Naruto said and smiled to Ino and Lee, who just chuckled and walked inside. So predictable, Ino said and gave Naruto a kiss as they walked inside their room. What if Naruto builds a village in Wave? And thanks for watching my video till the end. If you enjoyed this content, then do consider subscribing to my channel, and leave a like if you guys need the next part, comment down, and thanks for watching the video, and see you guys in the next video.